podcast, episode number 4. I'm Jasper, and this is my lovely friend Moose.
What it do, baby?
Okay, I get it.
Yo, I love memes.
I love memes.
I know
too,
you
dude.
love memes. And you know what's dope about memes is in 2019, you can be the most, bland person, but you can be fucking hilarious if you know about memes.
True.
Everybody can be funny in 2019.
Yo, it's like you find something that has no context to anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's like you make the context.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And I love how they cross over. Like this format will constitute with this format and then this meme. So you get like a fucking 20 fucking meme crossover.
Yeah, you get a twofer.
You get a two for both of them.
A little two for both of them.
Both of them. I love it, dude. I can't get fucking enough of it, dude.
I love memes. So what do you got?
All right, so I had a couple of things that I wrote down that we talked about last episode with Kyle.
You already have a grin on your face?
Well, 2 stories
Oh, no?
that I got to tell.
All right.
They're both a little sketchy.
How sketchy?
Well, it's not sketchy. It's like sketchy for me because I almost got my ass kicked a couple times by my mom.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so I'll let you pick 1 or 2.
2.
2? All right, that's getting caught with one of my ex-girlfriends in the shower by my mom
Okay.
when I wasn't supposed to have a girl in the house.
In the shower, nonetheless.
Yeah, so all right, so be me. I invite my girlfriend at the time over to my parents' house because I was living with my parents at the time.
Yeah.
We end up hanging out. We fool around. You know what I mean? And then we're like, oh, let's go take a shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get frisky in the shower. Go to the shower. And we're fooling around in the shower. Now, I hear a door close in my mom's parking spot because, to give you a little bit of context, the bathroom is here.
Yeah.
The driveway is here. It's like the bathroom is right on the outside of the house where the driveway is, basically.
Yeah, so you can pretty much, like, if somebody pulled up or, close the door, turn
do
on
a
an
little
engine.
peek.
Yeah, you get the little whoosh.
Yeah, so my mom pulls up. I hear the door close. And I go, wait a second. Like, I got her leg in the air. I'm like, what the fuck? So I look at her. I'm like, hold on. Shh, be quiet. Did you hear that? She's like, yeah, I heard that. Was that a door? I'm like, yeah. And then I hear the door to my house open. And I go, oh, fuck.
Was this like a 2-story house or like 1 story?
Is 1 story.
One story.
Like, you walk into like a little porch that's like, that's probably about the size of this table.
Yeah.
And then right in there is a door. And that's the kitchen. And right next to the kitchen is the bathroom.
Oh, so it was like immediate, like.
So it was right there.
Yeah,
but luckily, my homeboy, our guest last week, Kyle, my brother, he walks in. The door is wide open, mind you, for the bathroom because it was just us. We didn't expect him to get home.
Right.
He got suspended from school, I think for a fight or something like that. And Mom had to come and pick him up. She picks him up from school, brings him home. She was only planning to drop him off and go back to work. Now, what happened was she comes home with Kyle. She's in the car pissed, texting my dad about what happened. Kyle walks into the house, and he hears me in the shower, and he goes, yo, I got suspended. I'm like, Kyle, I need your help. And he's like, what? And I'm literally, like, butt-ass naked. I'm like, go in the living room, grab all the clothes in the living room, and fucking throw them in here. And he's like, all right. I'm like, go now. Get the fuck in there. Do it. And he's just like, okay. He fucking flies into the living room, grabs all the clothes, and just shoves them into the bathroom. I throw all my clothes on as fast as possible, not thinking that my hair is still soaking wet.
Dead giveaway.
So I turn to my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, hey, be quiet. Stay in here. Don't say a word. And she's like, okay, fine. This isn't a good idea. I'm like, we got to do what we got to do. So I walk out into the kitchen, and I'm like, so, yeah, Mom, hey, how you doing, Mom? How you doing? oh shit, Kyle got suspended from school. Like, definitely, totally trying to take up as much space as possible to block getting to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And she's got to go pee.
Did she like hide in the shower or what?
She was hid in the shower, but all of our clothes were all in the bathroom. So she goes, I'm like, oh, okay. So what even happened? I don't know. And she's like, why are you still here? Because I called out of work that day.
Yeah.
To spend with my girlfriend.
Which was abruptly intruded on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she she barges through me and she says, why is the door closed? And I was like,
boneless pizza.
yeah. I was like, well, I just got out of the shower. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, is anyone in the bathroom? Is there someone in the bathroom? Yeah. Yeah, there's someone in the bathroom. She's like, who's in the fucking bathroom? And I'm like, the name of ex-girlfriend. And she loses her shit so hard. She opens the fucking door of the bathroom and she's like, you need to get the fuck out of my house. And
oh, Jesus Christ.
Yelling at my ex-girlfriend who's, mind you, naked in the shower trying to cover up.
Yeah.
And my mom's fucking freaking the fuck out. And she's like, and you going off at me. And I was just like, all right. So she's screaming at me. Name drop. I'm going to cut that out. My ex-girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend gets dressed. And she runs out and hides in my car while my mom is fucking rearing me. She is barking at me. And I'm just like, I know, Mom. I know, Mom.
I know.
I can't, not even looking her in the eye. And I grab like a couple outfits. I throw them in a bag. I grab like all my important shit, throw it in a bag. As she's screaming at me, I'm like, I know, I'm kicked out. Get into my car with my bag. And I take the fuck off. And I just driving around with my girlfriend. And I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do. I thought I was getting kicked out for that.
Yeah.
So my dad calls me screaming at me.
Oh, he was pissed?
Oh, he was fucking rip shit too because he had to hear about it from my mom.
Oh.
So it was like, he don't give a fuck. Yo, you're 20.
Yeah.
With a girlfriend. You guys fuck around in the shower. You guys fuck around in general. That... You know, people have sex.
Yeah.
So, but my stepmom is like, no, this shouldn't happen.
That doesn't exist.
It doesn't happen in my house.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fucked. So he's yelling at me because he's like, you did this and I gotta fucking hear it, and you know.
Oh, so he's pissed that he got yelled at for what you did.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Which I understand.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Because she was raging.
Dude,
so,
anytime my girlfriend gets mad at me for like. Not, I mean, it's a weird situation because obviously I don't have a fucking kid.
Yeah.
But no, I get pissed off too. If it's like one of my friends does something or something like that, and it pisses her off, and then she gets mad at me for allowing it to happen. It's like, my fucking bad, dude. Like, it's not like, all right, I will not name drop. This person might know who they are. I know they know who they are. But when I go to the bars. Like, I don't drink and drive anymore. And I say anymore.
You should have never done it in the first place, you motherfucker. I will end you.
I was an idiot when I was younger, I know. But I learned my lesson from it. So, like, now, like, I'll have a couple beers and, like, drive to the bar. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, a couple beers is a couple beers.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying I used to,
especially if you're, like, a champion.
Well, okay. This isn't cool, not a bragging topic. And if you're watching this and you are easily influenced, I'm here to tell you right now the shit is whack. Don't do it.
Don't do it, kids.
No, I'm saying like we used to go swimming on bridges and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and I would shotgun like 15 beers and then drive home.
Christ.
Like,
it's
yeah.
Jason Bourne.
Yeah. And so like I learned my lesson from it and everything. But to elaborate on what you're saying, so like I have a buddy that I occasionally drink with. We go to bars and shit like that, and it's like we'll pregame at my house, and then we'll go out, and you know we drink like 4 or 5 beers, and then we drive to the bar that's 2 minutes up the road.
Yep.
And we drive there, and then we're there for.
That's dangerous, by the way.
What?
Having a bar 2 minutes up from your house.
Dude, yeah.
It's dangerous. Anyways,
Luckily, no, but like we'll all be pregaming at like my apartment or something, and then it's like, oh, I just drank like 6 beers. Now I'm just gonna drive to the bar real quick. Not a big deal. I drink. I don't drink frequently, but I can drink a lot and maintain myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll get there, and then we'll be there for like 3.5 fucking hours, dude.
Yep.
And then we have, it's not even just one person that does it either. I have multiple friends that do this shit. And like, we'll all get like drunk. We'll all be drinking like mixed drinks and shit all night. And then that person, regardless of who it is, because like I said, there's more than one person that does this. So it doesn't even matter that I said I'm not going to name drop, because I have multiple friends that do this shit. We'll be like getting ready to leave, and Brittany's like, all right, I'm going to call an Uber. And then like whoever the friend is, they're like, no, don't do that. I'm fine. And Brittany's like,
No.
she doesn't say no. She doesn't. She's just like,
But it doesn't work like that.
oh, I know. You're definitely right. And I'm an idiot for just condoning it. But, I mean, regardless of if they're like acting fine, I mean, if you've been drinking for the past 7 hours, you really shouldn't be driving. Regardless of if you're like obviously drunk or not. Like if you're you look drunk, that's a definite no-go.
If you've been consistently drinking
right.
for 7 hours
that's
straight.
What it boils down to.
Yeah, because like me, 7 hours later, I have 1 or 2 beers in that 7 hours. Yo, I'm totally fine.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. But I hang out with degenerates, dude. Like we drink heavy. Like
if you're sipping, consistent sipping, dude. If you're doing that, no way.
Like episode
Bad
2 was
idea.
light for me. That was a light night. Like if you ever come out with like me, Brittany, friend A, B, and C, you'll understand. Like
I wouldn't be able to keep up, dude.
It's not about keeping up. It's just about
Give
having
me three
fun.
or four. Give me 3 or 4, and I'm done. And you guys are like, hey, you need a chill guy. I'm like,
It's not about keeping up. Drink at your own pace, just to have fun. But I'm just saying, you'll see it.
I support that, because so many times where like people go out drinking, it's all about keeping up.
No, you're a fucking loser if you make it a competition, dude. You go to the ball.
It's not a competition. It's like friend me. I don't drink much, but like friend B, they drink a lot. They go out all the time. I go with them, and like they're like, hey, take a shot with me. I'm like, all right, and take a shot, all right, and then 15 shots later, I'm fucked up, and they're like, I'm starting to get a buzz.
Yeah. I mean, that's my friends in a nutshell. Yeah. Like, you got to come out with my friends to see it for yourself. But, like,
oh, Jesus.
Still, I mean, that's fucking whack, though. Like, I would never, like, if I went out drinking with somebody and that's how they acted, if they were like, dude, come on, like, don't be a pussy, like, I'd probably duff them. Because it's fucking stupid.
That's
like,
another word.
You'll pick up on a lot.
I already do.
I know. But
it's bad.
It's just stupid. It's a dumb concept. It's like, okay, you're 5 inches taller, 100 pounds heavier, like whatever. This person weighs 120 pounds. They're 5'3", and you're mad because they can only drink 17 beers and not the occasional whatever. Like whatever. I find that stupid as fuck. I hate that. I never would do that.
Yeah, I feel that.
I will. On the contrary, jokingly, I will be like if you said, like, if you were like, how do I put this? If it was like the beginning of the night and I want to like chug a beer or something. And I'm like, Jasper, come on, let's go. Let's chug a beer. And you're like, nah, man, we're not doing that. Like, nah. I'd be like, come on, don't be a bitch. And then, like, you'd be like, nah, man. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm just messing with you.
And
like, and I would drop it at that. Yeah, square up. No, but I would drop it at that.
Would it be a 90-degree angle square?
That's the only kind of
yeah,
fucking square.
Exactly.
So, like, I'll definitely throw, like, little casual jokes, but I'll never actually sit there and be like, dude, you're a fucking pussy, dude.
Hey, I support that wholeheartedly, 100%.
If you're drinking because you want to make a point that you can drink a lot and keep up with people, you shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah,
that's fucking stupid. That's not the point.
I know so many people like that. It's like, yo, chill.
If you're one of those people that he knows, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so those friends, like, we all are experienced in our field, but at the end of the day, like you said, and like I said, if you've been consistently drinking for however many hours, regardless of if you think you're fine, regardless of even if you're conducting yourself like you haven't even drank that day, you still shouldn't be driving. We know how much alcohol you've been consuming all day.
Yeah.
And even if
like you can't fool anyone.
Right. And it's like,
even if you're a great actor, you can't fool anyone.
That, and it's like, even if you are like functioning fine, if you were to get pulled over functioning fine or not, your BAC is going to still be like, you can't fucking rewrite your blood alcohol content. You can't just decide what that is because you think you can handle a lot of alcohol.
Exactly.
So it's like, you might be conducting yourself fine, but at the end of the day,
you
take a breathalyzer, you're going to fail it. Like, so with that being said, though I have a lot of friends that'll do that shit, and then like the next day, Brittany will be like, I thought we were past this, like this, and that. I'm like, I wasn't fucking driving. I don't know why you're mad at me. And she's like, because you allowed them to do it. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
You're like, God damn it. You
I'm
text
like,
your
I
friend,
learned
you're like,
my
I
lesson.
do all this
I'm
shit.
like, you fucking idiot, dude.
You
Like,
just got me in trouble, man. I'm fucking grounded.
literally. So I know where you're coming from. I can't stand this shit either.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So like,
Or where your dad was coming from. Anyway.
yeah, I know what you meant. I did that so many times to my dad, though. I felt so bad because, like, I would do something stupid and she would fucking yell at him and they'd fight for, like, days about it because he's like, yo, he's an adult. Let him do his adult shit. And she's like, no. Or, like, something like that. And then he'd get mad at me because he's been fighting with her for 3 days.
He's
and
like,
he's
this is your fucking fault.
and his head's about to fucking explode. I'm like, and he's yelling at me. I'm like, my dad's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, of course. That's
Yeah.
how all that family shit always goes. But I have 2 different stories that I can actually tell about that one. One of them is vicious. So
I'm ready.
if my little brother's listening to this, which I recently discovered my whole family does, evidently, they all made fun of me for how often I talk with my hands.
Hey, greetings, McDonald family.
Papa Moose, Mama Moose, Baby Moose, and Brother Moose.
All the mooses.
The Meese.
The moose. All the moose.
It just doesn't sound.
It doesn't sound right.
That's funky.
It doesn't sound right.
I don't like that.
I would rather say mooses than meese, though.
Mooses? What the fuck? No, meese.
Meese? Meese sounds like mice.
Okay, so then when we see a bird species known as the goose, I want you to call them gooses.
Yeah, but I know they're called geese. Just like moose is moose.
At any point, somebody could just change a dictionary and say it's meese. Who the fuck gets to control that?
The people that control the dictionary.
What are they, fucking...
Some dude named Webster or something.
Like, what are they better than me? Why do they get to decide how we talk? It's bullshit.
They got a degree in dictionaries.
So, my dad was, I don't remember if he was overseas or if he was on a deployment. I know that, but I don't remember if it was like just in a different state for a different thing. If it was a short-term one, if it was an overseas one. I don't remember that. Yeet. He was gone. Oh, wait.
Piece it together.
No. He wasn't gone, but he was gone.
Okay.
Eventually. It'll make sense.
Okay.
I'm gonna
go with it.
My parents were out for a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was like a dinner with friends or whatever the fuck it was. They were out. And I knew they were going to be out until like 8 or 9 p.m. and they left at like 3.
Uh-oh.
So I got out of school. There was a girl that went to the same school as me. And like she like added me on Facebook. And this is when I was like a little fucking the troublemaker, dude. So I was just doing some dumb shit. Like
we've all been there, man.
Yeah. So this, I was just like, oh. This one was more rational in a way.
Okay.
So this girl, she starts talking to me. I was dating this girl that lived 2 houses over from me.
That's dangerous too.
It was kind of dope.
You know what?
Really good at, and especially when I was like, 15 years old.
Oh, dude.
It was dope. It was unreal.
Big jealous.
Yeah. And so we broke up, and it was one of this girl's friends that lived 5 houses to the left.
Oh, so
this was pretty much a cul-de-sac of what's gonna fuck my life up.
Okay.
Pretty much.
You had sort of like a like she's here, new girl's over here.
Right. Literally all within walking distance.
Now that is dangerous.
And by walking distance, I mean like from where we were sitting to your car was the one that was further away.
Okay.
The one that was closer was like from here to the loading bay door.
All right. Okay. Wow.
So, so I broke up with that girl, and her friend was the one that lived further away, and she added me and started talking to me. And then me and the first girl broke up on like bad terms. Well, bad terms is in we got arrested together. And
that'll do it.
Yeah. We were drinking underage. It was terrible. I'll actually tell that story in a minute. But so we broke up, and then her friend added me. We started talking, whatever. And so me thinking I had the sauce, she was like messaging me and shit and like flirting with me. And I was like, my parents are going to be gone tomorrow.
Like, it wasn't even mild sauce.
No,
it was
full
sauce.
on Macc, dude.
It was full Diablo
sauce. That's what
sauce.
I'm saying. It was attack mode, dude.
Yeah.
And fucking
attack mode?
Dude.
Face down in attack mode.
Dude. And so I was like, my parents are going to be gone tomorrow, whatever. So Braden is downstairs playing Xbox. My parents are gone. She comes in through the back door. Braden, there was a little living room by the back door. Like you could walk in from the back porch and there was like a little living room area. We had 2 living rooms on the first floor. And we walked in through the back. I expected him to be in the first one. He wasn't. He didn't even notice us. And then eventually I was like, I don't want him to like
Sneak 100.
Yeah, he didn't even notice us. And I was like, fuck. So I was in a weird spot. I was like, should I say something to him and see if he'll be chill about it? Or should I?
That's a risky move.
Yeah. So I went ahead and said something to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we're going to go upstairs. And he was like, okay. So he stayed downstairs, did his thing. I went upstairs with her, laid the schmangle, right?
There it is.
And so that was that. Got away with it. At least I thought I did. And
that's where it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So then my dad was gone. He deployed after.
Okay.
So he deployed, and I was like upstairs laying in my bed, like on a school night, getting ready for bed. And then my mom calls me downstairs, and I'm like, oh fuck. And I go, and she's like at the door talking to some lady, and I'm like, what's going on, guys? And she was like, you know who this is? I was like, no, I don't know who this is. And she was like, she's blank's mom. And I was like, I'm already fucking hit. I already know where this is going. Yeah. And she was like,
I've never seen her in my life, I promise.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Dude, so she's like, this is so-and-so's mom. And I'm like, fuck. And remind you, I'm 15, dude.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you know why she's here? I was like, no.
Yeah,
and she was like,
absolutely not.
She was like, her daughter thinks she's pregnant. And I was like,
that's fucking terrifying.
I was like, what? I knew she wasn't pregnant because this was like 2 days later. And I was like, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
You wouldn't know.
That's
like you're freaking out as a 15-year-old and you think you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And so
which is understandable at that age.
Oh yeah, at that age it's like you don't know what the fuck you're doing, man. Like
it was like the first few times and like, you know, shit happens, but anyways, continue.
I mean, there were no few times. This was a one and done.
Nice.
Especially after this.
Yeah,
and
it would have been for me too.
Yeah. And so like she's like, so she comes in, my mom sends me upstairs, and my dad calls me. He starts freaking out on me. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? I'm over in wherever he was. He's like, and I got to get a phone call about this shit. He's like, I'm supposed to be going to bed right now, preparing for whatever he was doing over there. And he's like, I have important shit I'm supposed to be handling right now, and I got to get a call about this. And I was like,
oof. Ouch. And then it's like you're not upset about getting yelled at. You're more upset about letting them down. Like, it's like, I'm mad at you, and you're like, yeah, so what? And it's like, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and then you're like, fuck, that hits so much harder.
I know, that sucks, dude. I hate letting my parents down.
Yeah.
So like I talked to my dad. He yelled at me and everything, and that sucked. And then eventually, like the next day, my mom called me downstairs, and then my parents are super chill. My mom was like, all right, well, you know, you're getting to about that age. You know, don't be sneaking girls into my house. And if this is how things are going from now on, at least be safe about it. And just throws me a box of condoms. And she's like, that's all.
Yo, I love your mom.
Yeah, she was chill. My mom was super chill about it.
Mama Moose, I appreciate you. Thank you for being
chill
awesome.
about it, dude. And
my mom would have fucking ripped my head off.
Well, no, I did. I got that. But it was like a day after. She was like, all right, well, listen.
Oh, no, I would have heard it for months.
No. She was just like, I mean, obviously I broke a lot of trust there, but like,
yeah.
So yeah, they were pretty chill about it. There were like definitely some like jokes made about it. Like a couple months later, there was like, what's going on there, huh? You sneak anybody into my house lately? And I'm like, fuck, dude, this is so awkward.
This lamp is moved an inch to the left and a little bit tilted. Did you fuck someone on this table?
Yeah, dude, it was like, I was like, God damn it, like. I lacked the social maturity to actually deal with it past that situation, because every time they talked about it, I was like,
you just got awkward, and you're like,
I was like, I'm going to my fucking room, dude.
Don't look at me in my eyes.
So yeah, there was that, and then there's another one, a girl that I dated in Maryland. Cut that.
Okay.
Cut Maryland.
Cut Maryland.
Yeah. Wait.
What do you mean? I don't quite understand what you're saying.
I'm trying to piece together how many girls I dated in Maryland, because I think I only dated one.
Okay.
So if I say a girl I dated in Maryland, everybody from Maryland knows who this is about. Actually, fuck it. Girl that I dated in Maryland.
Okay.
I
was about to say we had a lot of stuff to cut there.
Yeah, I know. No. Fuck that. Girl I dated in Maryland. I don't even care. The story's hilarious. It's not even that bad either. So my mom, at this point, my dad was deployed over in Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
And he was there for a year and some change. And while he was there, my mom was like, okay, well, we're going to, because we lived in Maryland. We moved to Havelock.
Yeah.
And then my dad deployed to Qatar for like a year and some change. My mom was like, well, I'm thinking we should move back to Maryland because I'll just get my old job back and then I can at least keep myself busy while, dad is away, whatever. At the time, I hated it. And I said, to be honest,
moving around all the time, dude, I feel that, dude. It sucks. I moved everywhere when I was younger.
Well,
man.
not only that, but it was like I just left Maryland, said goodbye. So it was kind of chill because I left Maryland. I had a lot of friends in Maryland, and I came back and I moved back into the same, like literally 5 minutes from the house that I just moved away from 3 years ago.
Oh.
So everybody that I was friends with. Like, the girl that this story was about, I dated her in 8th grade. We broke up because I moved to Havelock. I moved back, and we dated again.
Oh.
So it had its pros and its cons, for sure. Because it was like, I've moved around so much in my life that it's like I've had to say goodbye to so many fucking people. And I said goodbye to all these people in Maryland, made all these friends in Havelock. And I was there for like 3 years in the same situation. I was dating a girl. We broke up because I moved away. And so I had to say goodbye to all those people too, and then go right back to Maryland. And not only that, I had to do all this moving and shit. My dad was overseas, so it's like that fucking sucked because my older brother was in college. My dad was overseas, and it was me, my mom, and my little brother. We moved to Maryland. And my mom worked pretty late, which ties into this story. But
dude, we had almost the same lives in different places.
Right.
I hope you realize that. It was the same shit, dude. Because, like, not to sidetrack from your story.
Very good.
But my mom worked late, so it was me and my little sisters.
Yep.
So, like, my mom worked late. My stepdad was in Kuwait. I think he was in Kuwait. Because he was at the Cherry Point military base as well.
Yep.
And I lived in New Hampshire most of my life. Then I moved there for 3 years and then came back here.
Exactly.
But, like, I know you had that extra step of Maryland to New Hampshire, but still, it was like the same exact thing, same exact story, but different places, kind of.
Exactly. And
anyways, continue your story.
Yeah,
it does.
So yeah, no, it sucked.
Suck.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Yo, I hold such a grudge against my little brother too.
Uh-oh.
Such a grudge not because of the story, but it's like. And obviously it's not his fault, and it's like a mixed feelings grudge, because it's like when I was growing up, my dad missed Christmases, birthdays. Not obviously it was Marine related, like it wasn't his choice by any means, and I don't hold that against him because he did what he had to do to provide for the family. It is what it is. But I was like, you were so young. You obviously he missed Christmas and birthdays for you too. But it was like I was literally like my teenage years. He was doing like a deployment and like fucking all this shit, man, and like. I hold it against him so much because we moved here when he was in 5th grade, and he's going to do 5th grade till he graduates high school in the same place. And I'm like, you lucky bastard.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's like it's not really resentment. It's more like just kind of like jealousy.
Yeah, it's
on
literally
like a
jealousy
low-key.
in a sense.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
I held such a grudge against him. And then, like, I'm trying to think of what the example was, but there was, like, not like a fight by any means, but, like, a little thing that we got into.
You and your younger brother?
Yeah, and I was like, well, obviously, you fucking don't have to deal with dad deploying. He's not in the military anymore. Yeah. You have the same group of friends from 5th grade to when you graduate. Like, and I don't remember how it got brought up, but,
yeah, that shit happens, man. You fight with your family.
I give him shit for it. No, so... I was in Maryland, and I was dating this girl, and she lived, like, close enough to ride a bike to my house, and it was me, my little brother, and my mom. My mom worked late, and she didn't get home till 6:30, 7 o'clock. Well, maybe closer to, like, 6:30.
Oh,
between 6 and 7.
My mom didn't go home till midnight.
Oh, no. My mom, like, we would get home from school at, like, 2:40, and she would get home at, like, 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So there was this girl I was dating, and we rode the same bus, and she was like a bike ride away. So all the fucking time. Like, almost daily. We'd get off the bus. She would just hop on her bike and come over every single day.
That's dope.
And we got away with
I
it.
miss those days, dude.
Oh, dude, that was dope. And, like, one time we, like, both pretended to be sick from school just to hang out. Like,
hey, yo, that's cute.
Dude, high school was dope. But, so she would always sneak over, ride her bike over, put it on my back porch, and then come hang out for a couple hours and then leave.
Your neighbors didn't rat on you?
No. Dude, it was like Baltimore, Maryland. Nobody's going to
That's awesome.
rat on me for that shit. There's way bigger concerns in Maryland than ratting on a 15-year-old hanging out with his girlfriend. So, yeah, she kept sneaking over a bunch. And, like, by this point, what was it? My dad actually was back from his deployment, but we still lived in Maryland because technically I think he had like a couple months left in the military before he could retire. Mm-hmm. So like he finished his deployment, came back, and he was technically still stationed in Cherry Point.
Yeah.
But we moved.
Yeah.
So he had to live there and work there for like a couple months while we lived in Maryland. And then on weekends we'd all see each other. And
that's tough too.
Oh yeah, that sucked too. So one day my mom like comes home and like she goes on the back porch for something, and she was like, "Whose glasses are these?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "Huh?" And she was like, whose glasses are these? And they were hers. And I was like, "Oh," and I said her name, and she was like, "Why do you have them?" And I was like, she gave them to me on the bus, and I never gave them back to her.
Good cover.
And she was like, "Okay, but why are they on the back porch?" And I was like, "'Cause I went out there." And she was like, "For what?" I was like, "Just because." And she was like,
She right there. She knew you were full of shit
"Oh
from
yeah,
the get go.
oh yeah." And she was like, "Why'd you go out there?" I was like, "Just because." She's like, "I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to tell me why these are really in the back."
Oh no.
And I look at her and I go,
Did you ham it up the whole time?
"Huh?"
Did you ham it up the whole 5 minutes?
Oh yeah. I was like, "That.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why they're in the back. I don't understand."
Yeah, Mom, you don't believe me.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm different now. I don't lie.
Dude, I was like, that's why they're in the back. I was like, and then of course I got all defensive about it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not allowed to go outside and like just sit on the back porch anymore either. I was like, now that you find glasses
Oh, my
outside, I'm
goodness.
not allowed on my back porch. Is that what this is? Like, and she was like, "Alec, why are they there?" And I was like, she left them on the back when she snuck over.
You're like 458, 459. She left them there.
I was like, she left them on the back porch. And she was like, why was she on the back porch? And I was like, "Oh, she comes over after school." I was like, every time she comes over. I made the mistake of saying every time.
Oh.
And I go, every time she comes over, she rides her bike, puts it in the back porch.
Record scratch.
Yeah, leaves it there and hangs out for a little while and leaves. And she was like, every time. And I'm like,
yeah, record scratch right there.
I was like, I did say every time, didn't I?
This is where Moose knows he fucked up.
Yeah, and she was like, "Well, how often is every time?" I was like, "She's only done it like 2 or 3 times." And she was like, "Okay, all right." And
sure.
She was like, "We're going to have a talk with your father about this." She's like, "Don't know why you need to be sneaking around when I would literally let you have her come over anytime I'm home." And I was like, "'Cause I get bored as shit during the week where I'm just in my room playing Xbox all the time. Mm-hmm. You're at work, Braden's doing whatever, and I just get bored, and she comes over." So long story short, my dad comes up that weekend, and he's like, "Come here." And I'm like, fuck. Because the worst part was she found out about this on like a Monday or a Tuesday, and my dad came up Saturday. So the whole time, my dad's like, "We're going to have a talk about this because I'm not happy," on like Tuesday. So from like Tuesday to Saturday, dude, I'm just sitting there bugging the whole time. And I'm like,
you're just like, man,
I'm
Dad's
like,
going to fucking.
Yeah, exactly. And my dad comes over, obviously, for the weekend, and he like calls me, and I hid in my room. I did not come downstairs until he told me to come downstairs. Like I said hi to him when he got there and just fucking 40-yard dashed up my stairs. Yeah, I was like, "What's up?" And then just darted upstairs, 40-yard dash up the stairs, bear crawl, all fours, everything. Went right in my room, threw on a movie, and just sat there like this. I was like, waiting.
But you had like sonar hearing.
Literally,
like,
yes.
You had like precision technology built into your ears at that point to hear miles away.
Yeah.
The slightest
like just waiting for my parents.
Talking,
yeah, waiting
or
for my
your
parents.
name.
Yep, waiting for my parents to just subtly bring it up, like in their casual conversation. I'm
and
like,
they'll ear to the floor.
yeah, literally. And so eventually he finally, like, I watched like 2 movies and he didn't even call me down. And so I was like, come on, just do it. And he like called me down. He's like, why? And I was like, got bored. She came over. We hung out. She left. And he was like, don't be fucking doing that. And I was like, you got it. He's
yes,
like,
sir.
he's like, if we're not home, nobody comes over. I was like, yep. And he goes, you're lucky that I heard about this on a Tuesday. And I had all week to think about it. He's like, but all I'm saying is don't let that shit happen again. And I was like, yep. And he goes, go to your room. And I was like, whoa. I just like sprinted upstairs in my room.
Hey, yo, I'm about to finish this movie real quick.
Yeah, I
didn't even get in trouble.
Yeah,
Click.
really. And I go upstairs. Dude, it was bad. It was super bad.
I had so many times of like getting caught in shit and then lying through my teeth about it. And then finally coming clean about it and be like hamming it up the whole time. I'm like, well, you guys never believe me about anything. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I'm trying to show you guys that this is the truth.
And you're like, but I'm a bitch.
Yeah, and then when it comes down to it, and they've known it the whole time, and it's like, yeah, this is exactly what happened. And I'm like, all right, you know what? You're right. I am lying. And then like I'm like with a dog between my leg,
tail between the legs.
Yeah. I can speak English.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Every now and then.
What tips would you give a high schooler sneaking around with his girlfriend right now? What would you... I don't know if this is a good thing to encourage.
It's not a good thing to encourage. So kids, don't sneak your girlfriends and boyfriends over because you will get caught. Parents know. But if you're going to do it...
Here's how to do it right.
Cover your fucking tracks.
All right. By cover your tracks, let me break it down for you. I need you to put on a Sherlock Holmes hat. Goggles are optional. Trench coat is not optional. That is mandatory.
TM.
Prescription TM glasses. Trench coat is mandatory. When she comes in, she puts her shoes off outside. She does not track any dirt in the back door, in which you would have not had dirt to begin with.
No footprints.
You count how many locks are on that fucking door. Look at them before she gets there. And you make sure you know which one was locked and which one wasn't.
Yeah, everything goes back exactly where it was.
Exactly how it was.
Because moms for sure will see that shit and notice it.
Dude, my mom is fucking crazy about that shit. I took a Tupperware when I used to live with my parents to my old job.
Oh, hey, real quick. Doily.
Doily?
Doily is the word that I was trying to think of earlier at my house.
Oh,
Doily.
My God. 5 hours later, it
Doily.
makes an appearance. I was like, is it a Davenport? And you're like, no. What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Oh, I've never heard that word, but doily, it's like the little snowflake things that they put under like
the mesh where they put it's like not a it's kind of like a centerpiece.
Yeah, but it's like
but it's like mesh
cloth, and it looks like a snowflake, and they put like a lamp or something on it.
Yeah.
Doily. Anyways,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Put the doilies back in place too.
Yeah, doilies got to go back in place. I'm serious, though. You got to check how the locks were. You have to check if there's dirt. You have to check everything by the doors. You want to make sure wherever they come in or out of, they leave nothing at that entrance.
Absolutely. No clothes. Like, if she
not even a
brings
sock.
over, like, a flannel. If there's a sock off, and that's automatically assuming that's clothes came off, parents lose their shit.
Yeah, but no articles
Nothing.
of clothing, no accessories, nothing. You got to check.
Absolutely
the
nothing.
moment that you know that they're coming in the front, back, side, whatever door, you immediately investigate the scene. Immediately. The locks look like this. There was no footprints or dirt here.
Absolutely.
There was not a big patch of grass missing here.
Window was locked.
Yeah,
everything. You got to cover your tracks.
You got to be on top of that shit.
And what that brings me to is making sure that if you do fool around and you sneak someone over or you go over or whatever the hell you do, don't leave condom wrappers in your pocket. Especially if your parents are doing your laundry.
Okay, well, you just pretty much go on.
Awesome segue, right?
Yeah.
So here I am. I'd like to say 18. Still living with my parents.
Okay.
My mom refused to let me do my own laundry because she was afraid I was going to fuck up the machine.
Interesting.
So I was like, all right, do my fucking laundry then. I don't care. One of my exes, we were smart and we were safe and we used condoms.
Kudos to you.
Yo, I was big scared, TM.
Okay.
So she was big scared TM.
You weren't scared of shit. Anyway.
So we did the dirty, and I didn't want to throw the condom wrapper wherever the fuck we were. I don't remember much about any of that, but I remember I put the corner I ripped off, threw it in my pocket.
Why?
Threw the wrapper in my pocket after I put it on.
Why?
I don't want to throw it wherever the hell we were. I don't remember where I think we were at her house.
No, you put it in the backpack and then throw it away at like school or some shit.
I didn't have a backpack. It was just in my pockets. Threw it in my pocket. We fooled around. Later on the night, I come home. I get changed and throw my dirty laundry in the because I got home at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I was tired. Like I just graduated school and all that stuff. I throw those clothes in the dirty laundry hamper. I get home from school the next day. My dad's home early.
Oh, no.
My mom is screaming. I can hear her through. As I'm walking into the house, I can hear her screaming.
And you're like, y'all mind if I just don't even come in?
Yeah, because I came home from work and I heard them freaking the fuck out and fighting. And I'm like, here we go again. Well, long story short, she found the corner of a condom wrapper in the dryer.
It's ramen noodles.
No, it was like distinctly said you could see Tro on the corner. So obviously Trojan.
Okay. Fair.
And it was like the foil. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It was like that hard like.
That's why I said the ramen noodle seasoning packet.
Yeah. But it was like the light blue color.
Oh yeah, you're fucked.
It was like.
You already hit at that point.
Like that wrapper right there. That's known condom color wrapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Tiffany blue.
Tiffany blue, yeah.
That's what it is. Tiffany blue and like mandarin orange.
So she is freaking the fuck out at him because she thought for some reason, it was him. And it went back to him getting mad at me because he knew it was me. It wasn't him.
Oh, and he was like stuck between saying it. Well, I mean, obviously, if I was a dad in that situation, I'd be like, fuck you. That's not mine. That had to be Jasper's.
Yeah. And that's what it was. She didn't believe him. So she's like, whose is this? Is this yours or his? Because I don't fucking believe a thing he says. And I'm like, yeah, it's mine, Mom.
Oh, okay. I was about to just ask.
I didn't lie. I didn't lie at all.
Yeah.
I was like, it's mine. I forgot to take it out of my pants pockets. She immediately thought we were fucking at the house. This was before the shower incident and all that.
Yeah.
But she thought I was fucking in the house, and there's no way to prove I was or wasn't. She just knew that I was fucking. So I was like, no, Mom. We were at her house or somewhere else, but it wasn't at my house. So it was a whole thing. Sat down, had a big talk about it, and my dad's like, look, I'm so glad that you're being smart about it, but you need to be smarter and not leave that in your pockets, especially because I'm getting yelled at for it.
And then he daps you up in the back. He's like,
oh, I'm going to be real. He was pumped because he's like, my son getting it. But that was fine and dandy. We figured that shit out. She never said sorry, and he held the grudge against that for so long. I would have too.
fair.
6 months later, my brother has the same thing happen to him. He left a condom wrapper in his pocket.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, your mom at that point should have immediately known. Like,
My mom,
or did she think it was you?
she thought it was me.
No.
So I was now my dad, and Kyle was me.
But did you like immediately throw Kyle under the rug, or
I
were you
immediately threw Kyle
like,
under the
I
rug.
would too. Fuck that. I'm not about to take the heat for that.
Well, because she said, do not let this happen again. I was like, all right, like, well, I'm not going to fuck. like, fuck if you can stop me. So I come home from work, like 6 months later, and same shit's happening again, except she's yelling at him because she's like, he needs to get the fuck out. He's 18. He's an adult. And I'm like,
That's not mine, though.
I walk in and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And they're like sitting at the table like, son, sit down.
We already talked to you about this once, and you're like, well, let me.
I was like, well, hold on, I'll cut and pick a second. I've never seen that thing in my life. What is that? I don't know what that is. But no, they threw the wrapper. It was like a whole ass wrapper this time. They threw it on there and they said, what the fuck? And I was like, that's not mine. And they're like, okay, yeah. And I'm like, last time I told you straight up, it was mine.
Why would I lie about it now?
Yeah, because it's like, I'm being safe, and I didn't do it here. If I did it here, don't you think I would have hit it a little bit better? Because I'm sneaky.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, I don't know whose it is because it's not mine. And I'm like, maybe it's Kyle's. And
Wait, was Kyle there during this exchange?
oh, he was laying in bed going to sleep because he was in like middle school at this point.
Keep going.
And so she's screaming at me. It's not his. He's too young. Mind you, this kid lost his virginity at 11 years old.
Kyle?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You might want to cut that. That's vicious.
Why would I cut that?
I don't know. It's kind of vicious though.
He's proud of it.
All right, fair.
All right, so I knew 100% that his girlfriend and him at the time were banging.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly supported him, and I told him if he needs condoms or something to be safe, come to me.
That's an ill brother move.
I am not going to go to mom and dad about this shit because, like, I'm your older brother. That's what I'm supposed to do.
That's dope.
I got your fucking back.
That's dope.
But this little fucker lied through his fucking teeth.
And said it wasn't his.
And said it wasn't his. And I'm like, bullshit. This is yours, guy. Like, after they were yelling at me, I'm like, you know what? Whatever. And I walked away, and they were pissed off because I, like, walked away from the fight. I go in the bedroom because me, Kyle, our other brother, Christian, we were all sharing a room. I go up to Kyle's fucking bed, and he's wide awake, and he's turned away. I'm like, Kyle, I know you're awake. Turn around. He's like, huh? And I'm like, you're not sleeping. Look at me. And he's like, what? You know exactly what they're talking about out there, and I know it's fucking yours. If you don't tell them, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you. And he's just like, all right, I'll tell him. I'm like, you get up right the fuck now, and you go fucking tell him, because I ain't getting kicked out of this fucking house because you were too stupid to remember something after you knew the same shit happened to me. Go fucking tell him now. And I'm like, I have my hands around his throat, basically. And he's like, I'll tell him. So I go and I'm fighting with my parents, and I think we were fighting about it still, and I'm like, it wasn't me. And I just left. I was like, blah, and I fucking left the house, and they were even more pissed about that. I come back like the next day after work or something like that, and they said, Kyle told us it was his. And I'm like, oh, he did?
Interesting.
Very interesting. Please explain more.
I just tried to call Kyle because I was going to tell him that he's an asshole for not just immediately jumping on that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, mind you, he was like 13. I think he was 13.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Oh, that would have been really funny.
Yeah, well, I tried.
Kyle, you're a little bitch for not answering.
Yeah, fuck you, Kyle.
Yeah, and fuck you for this story, too.
And I take my handshake back.
So, I see them, and we talk about it, and I was like, so what did he say about it? Why was the reason why he had it? They're like, oh, well, he said they had him at, like, the school for a sex ed thing, and they gave him to people.
Good cover up.
I was like, this kid's fucking...
Props.
It's like, he learned well. Like, he was like, yeah, it was like a sex ed thing, and they handed out condoms to all the kids and stuff like that because, we're 13, 14, 15, and, they showed us how to use them and stuff like that, and, he was playing with it, and he like blew it up with one of his buddies, and they were joking around with it, and he forgot to take the wraparound and throw it away. And they totally believed it.
That's genius.
Yeah, and I think they forgot about that story because later on he told them that he's been fucking for years at that point, and they were pissed about that.
But still, genius at the time.
He pulled that shit off. But I was so fucking mad at him when I talked to him about that. I was like, thank you for telling him about it, but next time, don't fucking do that again.
Yeah,
I will fucking end you.
Yelled at for your wrongdoing. Dope cover up though.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was an
still fuck you.
At what point do you think when you're laying the schmangle with a lady friend, at what point is it okay to just like not care so much about self-grooming, about the manscape?
Oh, you mean like
the bush?
Okay, so what point of bush or what point of...
Like, how often are you cleaning up when you're laying schmangle?
Oh.
Well, let's say, situationally speaking, at what point do you just stop giving a fuck?
Oh, I always give a fuck.
Even like when you're like 3 years in.
Oh, well, I've never been 3 years.
Okay,
in.
I'm just saying
But
situationally
regardless,
speaking.
yeah. I mean, like as far as I've been, dude, I always keep it clean.
Really?
You know, like I'll trim it up, give it a nice little smiley face or something cute down there. No, I'm just kidding. I clean it up, and I keep it groomed enough as I can get. I can't get down on the balls, man. It's tough, dude. I get as much as I can.
So, do your balls just always got like?
They got little bits.
Yeah.
It's not like fro status. It's not like Osama bin Laden beard for the balls.
Yeah. No, that's bad.
It's like it's you know it's just it's a little hairy down there.
Aside from the balls, you going full shave?
I don't go down to bare skin.
No bare skin.
I don't go bare skin. No, man. Like I don't want to be 12 again.
Yeah. So you go like.
I hit it with like the 4 or the 5.
5. That's longer than my hair on my head.
I think we're thinking of different measurements then.
No, we're not. If you're talking about a guard that goes on a razor.
Hey, yo, it's like this long, dude.
Dude, a 3 is my haircut. Granted, it's been a little bit since I've gotten
All
a
right,
haircut.
then maybe it's a 1 or a 2.
It has to be a 1 or a 2.
Okay.
I think that's inches, isn't it?
No, it's like millimeters.
Oh. Well, either way, I'm just saying a 3 is what I get for a haircut. And if your shit's a 3, then you got work to do.
Yeah, it's never that. Well, it'll get to that point some point in time.
Oh yeah, and then you just hit it with
English.
with a
hit it
little
with the
skin
shrink.
fade and like a
skin
a shape
fade.
up and
Yeah, I do a little lightning bolt in the side because I want to feel cute.
or the racing stripe.
Yeah.
Like you remember that douchey thing kids were doing when they were in like 7th grade where they got the fucking notch in the sideburn?
Oh yeah, or like the douchey thing people still do where they get the fucking lines and shit.
Yeah, like that. That's what
It's
I'm
like
talking
how
about.
fucking cool how big is your dick to do that?
I never understood that. I'm all about like express yourself, do what you want to do, but if you're doing it because you think that's cool, it's not cool.
Yeah.
You look like a fucking idiot.
Right?
Swing at me if you got something to say about it.
But yeah, like I keep it trimmed up. Like even if I'm in a committed relationship, I
Really?
keep it trimmed up. Yeah, because like you know if my girlfriend is going down there to do a little suck, I don't want her getting hair in her mouth. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I mean, I guess that's
like I'm thinking about her at that point. Me, like if it gets to the point where it starts getting annoying, and I can't crank down without fucking grabbing hair.
Yeah.
Like, yo, fucking get rid of that. But like, if I'm with someone, like I keep it trim because like I think about it like me. If she like, I don't mind a little bit. I like a little bit.
No.
I like a little bit.
I need Brazilian wax.
Well, see, I don't like it everywhere. I don't like it down in the trenches.
No gooch.
I don't like it down in the trench. I like the landing strip or something cute up on the top.
Why?
Dude, I just like it. I don't know.
That's fucking weird.
Hey,
You're the reason that porn stars think they're hot. Okay, porn stars are hot. Let me stop.
okay, all right.
But above the cahoots, there should be nothing. Listen, women are entitled to do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not saying they have to live by my standard or society's standard that says women aren't allowed to not shave and blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. Don't be a snowflake about what I just said. But I'm just saying there's a lot of males that are not into that shit, myself included. Also,
But
I'm not gonna disclose anything about my personal life. So when you're like, yeah, I think of this because of this, I'm not gonna give any comments on that. But I will say, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care. Like I definitely, when it gets annoying to me is when I like start handling the situation. Yeah. And it's not that I don't care about Brittany. I'll tell you. I'll give you like a little bit more details off the podcast.
Okay. I'll be ready.
Yeah. Matter of fact, just cut it. Anyway, so when it gets annoying for me, that's when I'll like start handling business.
Yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend definitely makes comments about it though. She's like,
and you don't trim it up at that point?
No. I'm like, do you know how much fucking work that is? Like you said, like getting around the balls.
The balls are hard.
That's hard, dude.
It's hard.
No matter how much precision you have, like you're bound to mess something up.
You'll sit there for a half an hour and you get you're getting down in the business.
Yeah.
And half an hour goes by and then you're like, I'm looking clean. And then you take a shower, you know,
And then the crabgrass patch just comes out of nowhere, and you're just like,
and then you look down and you inspect yourself in the mirror, or you like you bat wing and you check it out.
yeah, you get the silly putty stretch going, and then you fucking you assess
the
business.
baloney.
Yeah, exactly. You handle business.
Yeah, and then you see there's like a patch you missed. You're like, fuck. So you go down and you get that bitch, and then you look and there's a couple little stragglers over there, and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah. You know what's dope about that too is I know who I want to sponsor us so bad. It's a company called Manscaped,
Yeah.
and they have a trimmer. It's called the lawnmower, and it's
Interesting.
specifically for the crotch region.
Really?
Yeah, so many different guards, attachments, and shit, so you can do it perfectly.
Yo,
Absolutely, and they have ball deodorant.
Ball deodorant.
Ball deodorant.
Ball deodorant.
Think about that.
Whoa, that's something I've
It's like
never
a special
heard before.
product, like specially for your.
For your balls.
Yeah, yeah, that's next level.
I'm gonna Google that.
I'm telling
after
you,
this.
unreal. Like, I want it so bad.
I'm gonna have to order a box
That's what
of
I'm
ball
just saying.
deodorant.
It's
Yo,
crazy.
I'm gonna have to order both of us some ball deodorant here because that shit is next level.
That's what I'm
dude.
saying. But do you think that would make your nuts feel weird?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Like,
Like I've put yo, I'm a big dude. I deal with chafing sometimes. Like if it's a hot summer day and I'm wearing tighter clothing, like if I'm wearing especially when I had skinny jeans, but
oh god,
yo, yeah, so like the chafing of the inner thighs,
yeah,
like
crucial.
you start sweating in the nads. You gotta get some lubrication down there that stops the sweat. I have a separate stick of deodorant for my balls.
That's fire.
So actual ball deodorant is amazing.
But it's a specialized product.
That's
you wouldn't
crazy.
have to have that extra stick anymore. You'd be like, there's my Old Spice, and there's my what should we call it? The ball bag handling
ball
assortments.
bag. Yo, cause I'll hit it with a schmick, and I'm golden for a nice hot summer day.
Yeah, but doesn't your entire gooch region just feel disgusting after that?
No, I hit it with the antiperspirant.
Was that the
The white kind of
I don't
deodorant.
like that shit.
Oh, I
That's
love
so
that shit.
flaky and
Dude, my armpits are sensitive. If I use the gel,
yeah.
my armpits break out and they get they don't break out, but it's they get really sore and red. I can't use it.
Yeah, yeah,
It
dude.
hurts. It's the alcohol in it, dude.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I got a rash from deodorant a
Mm-hmm.
little while ago. That shit hurt so
Dude,
bad, and
because you're like this and you're it's so uncomfortable,
was
and there's nothing you can do about it.
bad, really bad. And I went to my mom with it, and I'm like, "Am I dying?" Because my mom's a nurse, and she's like, "No, you're not."
Yeah, just don't wear deodorant for a couple of days.
Yeah, she was like, "Don't wear deodorant and don't use the same," or she was like, "Don't use that brand anymore.
Yeah,
Try something else out." I still use that brand.
I wouldn't. I could, dude. It happened so many times to me in high school that I got to the point where all right, something's going on. So I Googled it and I found out that the gel kind, they have more alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Alcohol content than the antiperspirant kind, the white kind, the dry stuff.
Right.
I swapped to the dry stuff, and my armpits have never been sore like that ever since.
Right.
That's why I love it.
I don't know. I just don't like the feeling of the dry deodorant scraping, when you're putting it on, and you're just like.
Yeah, well, just don't be as rough with it.
I know, but I like how smooth the jelly stuff goes on. It's just whoop,
Yeah, it does feel good.
it's prime, dude.
It does
so
feel
nice,
good.
especially on a hot day.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, God, I feel disgusting and moist, and you just sit there and you just go, and you just feel amazing right after.
Imagine lightly menthol deodorant.
Like the smell,
Imagine
mint.
Well, not mint, but how they have the face wash where you wash your face and it's it feels cold.
Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
that for either deodorant or imagine that for the ball deodorant.
Dude, I think that would hurt my nads.
I don't know, but
I can't get down with that.
I don't know. I feel like it would feel really cool.
Nah, you have a lot of Manscaped shopping to do.
Well, I mean,
the brand Manscaped, not
Okay.
Manscaped category.
I was gonna say, excuse me, man, I'm the one who keeps
No,
it clean down here, guy.
No.
Don't at me.
no. I'm talking about the
These
actual.
hands
the
are
actual,
rated E for everybody, guy.
Yeah, no, the actual brand. So maybe I gotta reach out to them. We definitely don't have the audience big enough for them to even
Absolutely
bother
not.
promoting. But what if we did though?
That'd be cool.
And then we just
I would love that.
Yeah, my balls would be taken care of
Yo,
forever.
cause dude, we talk about poop a lot. We talk about poop a lot.
Well, dude, some of the podcasts I watch are way worse than ours.
I know.
Like in raunchy aspects, and they have a million different sponsors. So I don't think it matters. I think it's like YouTube that becomes fairies with that shit.
It's not necessarily just YouTube. It's more so the sponsors that control YouTube. The people who run the ads, like Google AdSense and all that.
Yeah.
They're the ones who get upset about it. And that's like with the whole adpocalypse thing, is that the companies who run the ads, who are paying YouTube and Google to have these ads put on YouTube, which in turn pay you,
they can be selective.
Pull their ads, and they're selective about this stuff, which is why like the adpocalypse affected so many people. It's because all these brands pulled their ads from the shit, so people weren't getting ads put on their videos, but because of that, and YouTube was saying, well, we have to change our shit so we get the money back. You know what I mean?
Which, everybody's figured out formulas around it now. It's like, just don't excessively swear in like the first 4 minutes of a video. And like
something like that.
This and that. Bleep out the swears if you have to. Don't talk about ABC. Like, I will never fucking do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's so
either.
stupid.
Like if it was, it depends on what it really was for me, I guess. Like if I was doing stuff like aiming towards kids, obviously, but like where the podcast, like dude, I wouldn't censor the podcast. Because like we talk about all kinds of shit, man.
That's the whole point.
That's the reason why people listen to podcasts. Like, dude, I listen to I watch off-topic podcasts religiously. Yeah. And like I follow Achievement Hunter and all the stuff that they do and all their games and their life as content producers. So when they're on the podcast and they talk about shit that they do in their personal life or off camera and stuff like that, that's the shit I love. And a lot of it's like stupid shit, like they went to the store and something stupid happened, or whatever the fucking case it may be. But they also have funny stories about like their baby shitting uncontrollably and they have to clean it up and it's disgusting, or they talk about gross stuff.
Yeah, like Riley Reid on Impulsive.
Yeah,
insanely
I'm gonna be
good
real
podcast.
Here, man. I am not a fan of Jake Paul at all, or Logan Paul.
Okay.
Not a fan of either of them.
Okay.
I think they're both too much.
Right.
But Impulsive is a good podcast.
Fire, dude.
It's a good podcast, and it definitely changed my mind. Like you were right. It changed my mind on how I think about them.
Right.
Like obviously as content producers, like when they go and they fuck with people at Walmart and destroy the store and shit like that, dude, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, it's like
that's
somebody
fuck you.
Yeah, it's like somebody's gonna have to go back and fucking you don't know whose day you just ruined by doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And like
that's stupid.
I don't support that shit at all. Like being rambunctious like that.
On the contrary, I'm all for innocent pranks though.
Oh, innocent pranks are funny.
It's like if you're not destroying some shit or making somebody's life a living hell and making it so like they just added 4 more hours of work to their workday or whatever it is, like there's no point.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
But like that podcast is really good.
Fire.
I like
and
it.
It's very explicit too. Very
explicit.
It
is. The Riley Reid one was quite interesting.
I
also,
love it.
Shout out to Riley Reid.
Shout out Riley Reid. Oh my God. Let me stop. Yeah, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's like you don't listen. Like as far as I know, I don't know of any parents that are going to like their like fucking children that are less than 13 years old going, listen to this podcast. Like nobody's, as far as I know, I might be completely wrong. I don't know of anybody that makes podcasts geared towards children.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. I don't think anyone makes podcasts geared towards children because the children want to see explosions and video games and stuff. Right.
They don't want to hear about just normal shit.
They don't want to hear about people talk all day.
Right.
Especially adults talking all day.
About adult shit, too.
Yeah.
That's
they don't
want to
hear that shit.
Yeah, that's fucking... Yeah, so I don't think podcasting really matters. I think that you have such a bigger... And like you said, with, different companies that are invested into YouTube that control Google AdSense and all that.
Well, they do care about the podcast, and they do care about the content on the podcast and, like, the explicitness of it. That's why the people get the sponsors.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
That's what it's like, whether you have AdSense or not, but... Jesus Christ.
What was that?
My flashlight just turned on and fucking blind. I thought a SWAT team was about to kick me out of my seat, dude.
Boys, we got them.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, from what I hear, AdSense money isn't even that good anyway.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
So,
well, I mean, like for someone like PewDiePie, who's got
it's probably a substantial
like
amount.
100. He's almost got 100 million subscribers. Yeah. So like, let's say like 10% of his total subscribers watch a video. That's 10 million views on a video. Well, you know what I mean. But let's just say 10% of his total subscriber count watches one video. That's 10 million views.
Right.
Like fucking 6 cents a view. If you like it, like however much it is.
I think it's every 100 views is 10 cents.
Something like that. But that's still pretty fucking dope.
It's a lot of money for somebody of that caliber, but realistically,
or for someone like us.
Yeah, who's sitting at the table with PewDiePie though? T-Series? Like nobody's in his bracket, you know what I mean?
I
so for him, of course he's making a boatload of money, dude. Of course he is.
If his stuff doesn't get demonetized, his stuff gets demonetized all the time.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like from like a statistical standpoint, like yes, he probably makes boatloads of money. But I mean, for somebody that's pulling 500,000 views a day, like unless they're pulling 500,000 views every single day, like they're making a lot of money, but they're not making like insane money that people on YouTube are making. Like I think
like Mr. Beast,
right, dude. And the thing about him too is like I'm sure none of his videos get demonetized. I don't think there's grounds for any of them to get demonetized because there's no swearing. It's very, very child friendly. It's all like very friendly
they're not
challenges.
like violent either or anything like that.
Right, and like it's very innocent content. It's great content, may I add. I love Mr. Beast. But like he's in his own lane. First of all, he's doing great. But like he probably makes a good amount of money off AdSense, give or take, because he gets a lot of views every single time he posts. But on top of that, he has like the third-party sponsorships and brand deals and shit that he makes boatloads of money off too. Usually he gives it away. But besides the point, like somebody like that.
Shout out to Mr. Beast for doing that kind of stuff and planting all those trees and shit, dude.
I would love, dude. To be honest, I would love to be able to do that though.
Yeah, me too, man.
Like if somebody was like, "Here's $100,000 for your video," and I'd be like, If it were me, I would probably take the $100,000. I would spend like, honestly, completely realistically, probably about like 40 to 50 grand. I'd probably take half and like, okay, well, let me actually break this down further. $100,000, obviously we're a 50-50 split. You get 50, I'd get 50.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably spend 25 on God knows what, pay off my car, all my debt, like whatever. And then the other 25, I would go to like a bunch of different restaurants in one day. And if the waitress was dope, I'd be like, here's $1,000.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And I would realistically go around in Concord and Manchester and just go to coffee shops, order like a coffee.
Yeah, totally make people's day. Dude.
Right. That's what I would love to be able to do. That.
I would love to do something like that too, where it's like, dude, waiters and waitresses, that shit's tough, man.
Okay.
It's not that it's like hard to do the job. It's tough because like dealing with all the people and fucking assholes all the time, dude.
You want to argue?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
What do you mean?
You're okay. You're not wrong because it is a pain in the ass. I've worked in customer service. I've been a waiter.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I know it can be a pain in the ass. I'm gonna be completely.
I love the job, dude.
Okay, right. I'm a people person. Yeah, you know this.
Me too.
I'm a fucking social butterfly. I talk to everybody. Like
I loved it, dude. I love spinning the tray on my fucking finger, and the kids would go ape shit,
that,
dude.
But no, dude. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I can't stand watching people complain about like when they get like if you get a shitty tip and you did absolutely nothing wrong, I feel for you.
Yeah,
I get it. But if
you did a shit job, you don't deserve a good tip.
And not only that, we're not obligated to tip. It's literally called gratuity. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Gratuity.
Ratatouille? Yeah, gratuity. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That's like me giving you something for your service. If you are shit, I'm not giving you a tip. I'm not.
Yeah. 99% of the time, I always leave a tip, but it always depends on how they were. Like if they were rude, if they fucked up all kinds of shit, like if I can see it's like someone's new to it. It's like obvious it's English. Mm-hmm. It's obvious when someone's like a new waiter or waitress. You can tell they're flustered. They're trying.
Yeah, I work with those kinds of people.
Yeah, and it would be like, no, you're doing fine. It's cool. And they're like, thank you. And like, work with them. and like I'll leave them a good tip anyways.
Yeah, no, that I completely
But if
understand.
it's someone who, if I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I ordered a cheeseburger instead of a steak, and they're like, and they hit me with the attitude, and you know they like slam the plate on the ground, or if you know like it's stuff like that. Like if they're like rude and they're mean and like just shit, I won't give them a tip. Or I'll hit him with like a fucking 25-cent tip to the fuck you.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I thought about it right after I said it. I've never not tipped somebody.
Yeah.
Not once. However, I have left a 12-cent tip before because they were just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like
An
everything was
absurdly
wrong.
low-
Like they just didn't give a fuck about their job.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't stand the argument on Facebook and whatever social media where people will work and be like, you don't understand that our income relies on this, because I want to comment on every fucking one of those posts and go, then find a different job if it really is life or death situation for you.
I feel for them, but at the same time, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I do feel for if you did everything right and you were like awesome and you were super nice and the person you were dealing with was just a straight up prick, I get it. Like, I get that completely. But if you're going to fucking... Like, I can't stand the rants. I can't. It's like, you don't get it. Like,
nonstop rants on Facebook are cancer.
Rants in general. And on top of that, have you seen the very viral thing that it's like a picture of a cook that is sitting over a trash can with like a plate, and it's like, while all of you come into our restaurants and you enjoy a meal with your family, just remember that a lot of cooks' meals are spent like this: 14-hour shift sitting over a trash can in the back of a kitchen.
It was never like that for me.
Okay, and I'm sure in some restaurants it is though, where
Maybe.
they like find a minute. And the restaurant I worked in was like that. It's like you find a minute, you make a plate, sit down real quick, and like try to eat it fast.
Yeah.
But
I never ate over a fucking trash can.
Okay, but like they'll post something like that, and it's like, you guys come into a restaurant, you would enjoy a nice leisure meal with your family, but just remember, behind the kitchen, there's a cook sitting next to a trash can and trying to enjoy a meal in peace that doesn't get home until whatever time. Like the whole rant saying feel bad for cooks, and they work long shifts and they don't get to eat meals with their family. Again, to which I respond, find a fucking different job. Yeah. Nobody's forcing you to be a cook at a restaurant, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't stand that.
Yeah,
People want pats on the back so much in 2019 and 2018. Everybody wants a pat on the fucking back for everything, and I can't stand it.
Well, I think with all that shit, I really think it goes back to a lot of, I mean, essentially how people were raised. You know what I mean? It could go one of two ways, where like, you know, your parents did everything for you and you're spoiled, or your parents did nothing and you feel like you're entitled to shit because you didn't have it before. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I feel like, you know, like, I don't know how to explain this, but, you know, obviously spoiled pieces of shit are going to feel like spoiled pieces of shit, but like people who are genuinely like had a shitty childhood and feel like they want, you know, they feel like that they, you know, they demand this and they demand that. Does that make sense?
Somewhat.
I think more of it's like, you know, a lot of the like the parenting habits that happened with like our generation's parents were, you know, a lot of them were like a lot of helicopter moms and, you know, like, oh my God, honey, no, shelter you from this and that.
Yeah.
It's like when I was a kid, my dad would say, yeah, go outside and fucking play. And I go outside and I play and I do this and I do that. And, you know, oh, I fucked with a bee's nest. I got stung. I learned my fucking lesson.
Yeah, no shit.
My dad didn't say like, whoa, don't go outside. There's bees out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, with us in our age group, we grew up in a time where there was not a lot of technology, and
grew into
the next day it was like, boom, fucking augmented world. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, as we were little kids, we got to experience like going outside and fucking playing, not glued to an iPad for our entire childhood. And I don't think it mainly relies on that, but it's more, we have more experience growing up
Yeah.
than a lot of the kids in the
Turning-
generation below us.
Yeah, turning 9 years old and getting an iPhone XR for their birthday.
Yeah,
and
because
shit.
it's like I'm not pissed at kids like that or parents that do that for their kids because like it's not my business how you raise your kid.
I'm pissed at how they grow up and feel entitled though.
Yeah, that kind of shit drives me nuts though because like, you know, kids that were born like 2000, 2002, you know, they're you know 17, 18 now, and they were raised completely different from us because like we grew up with, you know, like fucking barely cable television. We didn't have iPhones and iPads. We
Right.
didn't have all that shit, and we went outside. 90s kids, like
Yeah, 90s baby, stand up.
oh yeah, but it's like we went outside and played.
Yeah.
And we rode our bikes around the street and we got into trouble and stuff like that. And where it's like the world has moved away from that now to shelter children and shelter people, and like if and when I have a kid, I'm not going to helicopter over them and protect them from everything. Like as much as I want to or will want to, because, you know, they're my kid and I don't want them to get hurt. I want them to learn their lessons. You know what I mean? Because if I tell you, don't touch that candle, it's hot. You're going to say, okay, candle's hot, fine. You're a fucking idiot.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's like, you know, as a kid, I tell you, don't touch the candle.
And they're going to
It's
go,
hot.
huh. And then
And they go, okay. And then I walk away.
they're going to touch that fucking
They're
candle.
going to touch the fucking candle.
Yeah.
Because you brought it up.
Yeah.
But if their curiosity goes, huh, and they go touch the candle, go, oh, that's hot, ow. They hurt themselves, and you're like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? They're like, yeah, I burned my hand on the candle. You learned your lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't do
like,
it again.
it's a very broad example, but stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm glad that my dad let me make my parents, I'm glad that they let me make the mistakes and learn from my mistakes as opposed to helicoptering over me, because I feel like I have more of a sense of respect and understanding now.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, first and foremost, yes. Like, when I was little, my parents didn't, like, I always had everything I needed. They always gave me Christmas. They always, like, I never had, there wasn't a time where I went without food, nothing. Like, I always had a roof over my head, always had food, whatever.
Yeah, same here.
But, I mean, we weren't, like, rich. We weren't, like, whatever. My dad grinded his ass off. My mom did, too. They did a great job. And then now, my dad's retired from the military. He is pretty high up in our company.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents are very well off now, even being very well off. And they have been for a little while. They still won't spoil me. They're just like they confront me. They like not confront me, but they can front me. Like if I need something and I don't have the money, and they're like, we'll pay you, but you're paying us back. Like I don't get shit handed to me, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's like I grind my ass off for the shit that I need, the things that I want. If I want to go out to dinner, it's like I pay rent. I have my own place. I have to make sure that I survive, that my girlfriend survives, whatever. She has a job. We both grind our asses
they're
off.
always there. They're always there, and they're willing to help you out. But they're not just gonna hand you money and stuff like that.
And I love it because and sometimes like I'll see somebody driving in like a brand new Mercedes, and they're like 19, and I'm like, God damn it. Like,
yeah. Because
like,
you're almost mad at them because you're like, man, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. but still, at the end of the day, it's like I am very, very grateful that I was taught my lessons.
Yeah, you worked your ass off to get the money for your car. You appreciate it a little bit more.
Right, exactly.
Probably a lot of bit more, and it's all probably subconscious, but you appreciate it more because this is yours. You paid for this with your money.
Yeah.
You did it all yourself, and like for me, that shit makes me proud. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like I remember when you got your computer, and you were like, you genuinely stopped for a minute and just like looked at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're like, this is like one of the nicest things I've ever gotten for myself.
Yeah.
And you were like, I've worked hard. I have my car, I have my house, whatever. But like, this is one of the nicest things I've gotten for myself. And I was like, God damn, you're right. Like,
yeah. And it's like, I've realized that a lot of people don't do stuff like that for themselves. It's not so much treating themselves, but like taking a moment to stop and appreciate
like what you did,
what you
made
did,
happen.
and what you've done, and just appreciate little things. You know what I mean? Like, like I don't know, like an example is kind of like, you know, when I'm like, hey, dude, I love you, man.
Yeah.
It's just like you stop and you're like, man, I love this guy. He's a good friend. I'm going to tell him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like little things like that are so much more important than grand gestures. And I wish more people realize that, but like especially in relationships. Cause it's like, you know, I'm not a fucking relationship expert, dude. Most of my girlfriends have all fucking cheated on me. I don't know what.
Yeah, but that's not your fault though.
Yeah, it's just because they wanted to.
Anybody?
Fucking cheat
Yeah,
on me.
no. And okay, listen. Sorry to cut you off. But I've recently learned as an adult that if that shit happens, there is a slight possibility that, like, I can understand. I'd be fucking furious, and I'd probably duff some kid if it happened. But like I can slightly to a degree understand that maybe like if you're unhappy, like obviously you should break up. Let me just preface it by that. But if you don't and like you're just so unhappy and there's like that one thing that like your partner isn't doing for you and it's like you aren't getting the attention that you've been begging for, but you don't want to break up with that person, so you seek it elsewhere.
It's so easy to get caught up in that other moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So I can slightly understand that. Maybe 2% of the time. The other 98% of the time, you're just a piece of shit.
Yeah. Like when that's happened to me, like with one of my exes, she went off to college, and we'd have been together for a year at that point, and you know, our relationship was fucking rock solid. Like, we never got in fights. And if we ever argued about anything, it was, you know, it was done and over with. We figured our shit out and we moved on from it and we left it there. Like, that was such a good relationship. But she went off to college and she was learning about herself. You know what I mean? And, you know, she ended up cheating on me.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I was hurt and upset about that.
Yeah.
But I took a step back and I was like, you know what? She's learning about herself, man. Like, she's trying this, she's doing that. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can work past this. We couldn't because she did it with two guys that I found out at the same time. And I was like, all right, you know, and then I was way too like overprotective and like I got wicked asshole syndrome, but regardless, whatever. But like back to what I meant is like it's the little things, man. Like especially in relationships. Because if you like let's say you come home from work and you know you had a shitty day at work, but you come home and there's a little note on the table. You know, like your significant other went to work after you, but they left a little note for when you came home. And it's like, I hope you had a good day. I love you. I can't wait to see you later. Or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, dude, that means more to me than like buying me a Christmas gift or something like that. Or like a little handwritten note or a letter or like just something nice to show that you're thinking about me.
Yeah.
That shit fucking... That's my shit, guy.
Yeah.
I love that because it's like you can do grand things like, oh, I bought you a fucking Xbox because I know you like Xbox. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm going to love it. But it's like, holy shit, you didn't have to do that.
I'd probably shit my pants if that ever happened to me.
Yo, me too. It's never happened. But
I would appreciate it and that'd be insane, but I'm with you. Like,
yeah, but it's like, I would appreciate that grand gesture, but you don't have to do that. All you got to do is just show me in little ways that you love me. And like, that's the shit that I do is like make them like, let's say my significant other goes to work after me. I make her a little bit of lunch and I write a little note.
Oh, I do that for Brittany.
Hope you have a good day. I love you.
I do that.
Boom. Leave the little note in the bag. So when they see the lunch, they're like, and it's got like, you know, like name. Their name on it. You leave a little thing where they're like right where their shit is, or put their keys next to it or something. So they made me lunch, and then they take, you know, they get to work, they open up their lunch, and then they see the note, and it's like, oh, that's so cute, dude.
Yeah,
I love doing stuff like that because it's like the little things, man. The little things are so important.
See, and that's like, I try to make an effort to do that kind of stuff. I mean, I get home before Brittany. And usually I get home, I shower, I clean the house, and then, like, I'll start we haven't gone grocery shopping in so long, like so long.
I feel that.
But like when we do, we usually like grocery shop for the whole week and like get like lunch meat and like things to pack lunches and all that. And it's like when we do that, I try my best to like get home, shower, clean the house, and then like I'll make both of us a lunch, put it in the fridge, and then I'll start cooking dinner for both of us. And usually by like right when dinner's almost done, she walks in. And I'm like, oh yeah, your lunch is like already made, whatever. Like I'll do stuff like that.
Plated dinner for you.
Yeah. Like I do all that, but yeah, no. I don't know. I've never like, I don't know how to put this. Like me and Brittany, like we try to do small shit for each other as much as we can. And then like if it were an Xbox and everything, I don't know if I'd be able to accept that unless I absolutely knew the person that got it for me that wouldn't affect them financially.
Yeah, right.
Because that's like a huge hit. Like if I know you're making fucking dough and you have that to blow and you buy that, yeah, I'm accepting the Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug that bitch in and like ignore you for like 3 days. Like that.
Thanks, babe, for this, but can you fucking?
I'd just look at her and be like, "You played yourself," and then I would just go and play Xbox.
Another one.
But yeah, no, like I don't know if I could like. Anyway, but yeah, small shit. I've tried to work on it lately, just because. And then friendships, I've never really done it in friendships ever. Like,
I just recently did it in a friendship.
When?
For Thursday.
With me?
Yeah.
When?
I'll get it in the mail on Monday.
I don't. What are you talking about?
You'll see.
Oh my god. I don't know, dude. All my friends, it's like we just kind of hit each other up. We shoot the shit. Like I have a buddy that hit me up last night. Yo, get this. My buddy hit me up last night. I'm not gonna name drop anybody in this situation because if he watches this, he'll probably be pissed that I'm talking about it.
Don't be mad.
Wait, let me think. Would he be pissed? I'm fucking sending it.
All right, I'm ready.
I sexually identify as a piece of mail because all I do is fucking send it. Have you seen that?
No, but that's fucking awesome, dude.
So no, my buddy, he was like with a girl in college, and they met like 6 months before they graduated, and they like had a thing, and they were like crazy about each other. He was crazy about her anyway, and
oof.
Well, she lives in South Carolina.
Oh.
But she went to school here.
Ah, yeah.
So like they met,
tough one.
and then he moved back to his parents' house here, right after he graduated, and then she moved back to South Carolina, and then like they kept talking, and like he like flew out there to see her like I think twice, and then out of nowhere she like was just like, we can't keep doing this, like it's unhealthy, like whatever, and he was like okay, and so like they unfollowed each other and everything, and she immediately was like. Oh, no, actually, backstory. Before that even happened, she was like, I'm going on a camping trip with a bunch of my friends. And he was like, okay. And it ended up being her and a guy. And she was like, this is like my best friend. And by the time we were both at the campsite, everybody else had bailed. Horse shit, may I just say. I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
And then she was like sending Snapchats of them driving around in the kids like Ferrari and shit. Like, and she was like, this kid's scaring me, LMAO, like sending Snapchats and everything. And he was like, why are you sending me this shit? And she was like, he's just my friend. Why are you getting pissed off about it? He was like, okay. So then they went through that little falling out thing. And then like they unfollowed each other on everything. But I think she forgot that I still followed her on everything because I know her.
Oh, no.
And like right after they stopped talking.
You were the mailman.
Yeah. And they like stopped talking. And then like him and I were hanging out. And we were like pretty drunk. And he was like, I'm thinking about texting her. I was like, don't.
Ooh.
And I just like
backpedaling.
Yeah, I just happened to go on Instagram and like she posted like a video of her bed, and it was like wishing that at so and so was here, get out of work already. And this is like a week or two after they stopped talking.
Oh no.
And I told him.
How do you not tell him about that?
Oh, that's the first thing I fucking did.
Especially when you get the sips in you, it's like filter off. How do you not?
I mean, I don't have a filter, period. But
I know.
So I immediately told him, and he was like, that sucks, but that could mean anything. I'm like, don't do this. Like, yeah. I was like, you're being oblivious right now. Like, don't. You know what this is. Don't fall
into the trap,
I was like, you know what this is. Don't try to convince yourself that this is
Walk
something else.
away.
Right. So then, like, they didn't talk for a little while, and then they started talking a little bit, and then they stopped talking, started talking, and then, like, recently she, like, hit him up and was like, I love you so much. Like, I miss you.
Ooh, God.
Yeah, and she's like, I miss you. Like, I wish we could have handled things better. Can we please maybe just talk at some point and try to work on this because we belong together, this, that. So he pretty much ghosted it. And he was like, I don't think it's a good idea, like, whatever. And like
Smart move.
She occasionally texts him and it's just like thinking of you, like, whatever. And then yesterday, she got tagged in a Facebook picture with that guy from the camping trip before they even broke up. And it's like, when he surprises you with flowers, love you so much, or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
And
what a fucking mess.
Yeah, and he goes, looks like you were right all along. And I was like, dude, it was literally right in front of you.
Yeah,
like,
dude, let's be real here. Have you ever seen a moose that lies?
No.
There's no lying moose.
No.
They lie down, but they don't lie.
I do lie down.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Moose don't lie.
That's what I'm saying. And so he was like, looks like you were right all along.
That was cheesy. I'm sorry.
He was like, you were right all along. And I was like, so the asshole side of me came out. I was like, you know what the only logical thing to do here is, right? And he's like, what's that? I go, get really drunk, text her, call her a yunt, and then just stop talking to her. And he's like, haha, nah. He's like kind of considering sending that kid all the screenshots of her saying she loves me and wants to work on things.
Oh, my goodness.
And I told him straight up, I was like, okay, all joking aside, like, I'm not even just saying this to be an asshole. You should. Like, you really should, because
definitely. Well, that's tough water to tread.
It's not. It's really not, though, because A, she fucked him over. B, he was like, fuck both of them. And I was like, dude, in all fairness, that kid didn't even know you existed.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, see, what I mean about it being like treading muddy water is that it's like he's already out of it at this point. He can opt out, but in turn sending those screenshots and all that stuff to the Ferrari dude, he puts himself right back in the middle of it.
No. See, if it were me, I would block the girl immediately. Then I would message the guy and be like, listen, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
All right, yeah,
and
good
then here,
point, I guess.
I was like, just, because like I tried to explain it to him. I was like, dude, to be fair, that guy didn't intentionally hurt you. Like, he didn't mean to fuck you over by any means. He didn't even know what was going on, obviously. Yeah. Like, and I was like, if I were you, I would screenshot the shit and send it to him, because nobody deserves to be in that situation. Because I've been in that situation.
Yeah, me too.
And it's like, nobody deserves that shit. Like, you should just man to man, like, just show him. Like, tell him, just because, I mean, roles reversed, you would want that kid to tell you what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you're right. It's like, God. It's like it's
muddy because you don't want to get involved, but at the same time, it's like, me personally, I would, just because it's like, listen, I don't want you to get fucked over. I've been there. I know how it feels. So just don't get yourself hurt. Here's the proof.
You know what? In all honesty, I'd probably do the same thing.
Right. Just like, and it's not even to stir up bullshit. It's literally because I've been in this situation. I know how that feels. Yeah, and
like, you genuinely, you're like, yo, this dude's in my position 6 months ago. So, like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it fucking sucks all around.
Right. But yeah, so we talked about that a little bit last night, and I don't think he ever ended up doing anything about it, though.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'll text him. Eventually.
Yeah, I'll text him later. I'll ask him, be like, did you do it? He'll probably be like, yeah, I got drunk and sent him over, or something like that.
Sent it. He became the mailman.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what I was dealing with last night. I was like, God damn.
Jesus. Yeah, you had a lot on your plate last night.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this is gonna sound slightly racist.
Oh no.
But it's not racist.
All right.
I was at work the other day, and we have literally one black person that works at our job.
Two? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so two.
Yeah.
I've only seen
the
one
three,
guy.
actually, technically.
I've only seen the one guy on first shift. I don't know his name, but
I do.
Oh, he's a super nice guy.
Bald?
I think.
Yes. Glasses, bald?
I think.
Oh,
no. Wait, I don't know.
Wait, do you...
There are three. I realize there are three.
Are you talking about first shift, though?
First shift.
And then he works over by the welders?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Super nice guy.
He was at the first aid station,
Mm-hmm.
and he grabbed a Band-Aid,
Yeah.
and he put it on his arm.
Okay.
And he was walking by, and I said, "Wait a minute, what the fuck? Why don't they make brown Band-Aids?"
Why would they?
I
It's not like a fucking accessory.
I know, but what I mean is like, why don't they make brown Band-Aids? Because if I put a Band-Aid on my skin, it's not very noticeable. Most Band-Aids.
Yeah, but why does it matter?
I don't know.
It's not like you're not
Well, it's
trying to
not-
camouflage it. Like,
it's not that it matters, but it's like
plus, I'm pretty sure I guarantee you, if you went on Amazon right now, you could probably find some.
you probably could because they're like Spider-Man Band-Aids.
Yeah.
But like, it's just something that I wondered, that I thought about, that I have literally never seen a brown Band-Aid.
I mean, yeah, I guess not. I've seen the clear ones.
Yeah, yeah, clear ones. Like that's why I said it's gonna sound slightly racist, but I've never seen a brown
I
Band-Aid.
just don't understand why that would be practical. Is there really even a market for that product? Do you really think? And this is gonna
I don't
sound
know. Well,
racist.
See, so for me, if like let's say I'm working in like a cook or a waiter,
Yeah.
and I put a Band-Aid on, and it most of the time matches relatively to my skin color.
Oh, that's actually a good point.
That's what I mean. Is like let's say he was a cook and he gets a cut on the back of his hand.
Right. Well, I think waiter would be a better example.
Well, yeah, something like that.
Just
but
because, like, if you're handling food, you don't want a waiter to come over with a Band-Aid on and be like, "Here's your steak and cheese."
Yeah. So like me being a white person getting a Band-Aid that's relatively close to the skin color, it's not going to be very noticeable. But like if I was a black person and I had like a tan Band-Aid,
A Tan-Aid.
a Tan-Aid. I had a tan Band-Aid in the same position, that would be so noticeable.
Yeah.
But if I had like a brown Band-Aid, it wouldn't be as noticeable.
That's fair. I mean,
I guess that's where my mind went with it, I guess. I mean, like, obviously he works in like a warehouse, well, not a warehouse, but
manufacturing.
like manufacturing is what I
Right.
meant to say. So it's not like no one fucking cares. But it just like, my mind went there for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, I've never seen a brown Band-Aid.
I don't know. I don't really know if there'd be a market for that product, though.
I wonder how many people would care about it.
I don't think they would.
Maybe.
Like I said, the only thing I don't want to see is like somebody with like a Band-Aid handling my food.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you do realize there's thousands of people every day handling food with Band-Aids.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Also, can I say that the fucking clear Band-Aids suck? They're terrible.
Some do. There is this clear Band-Aid that there's one of the clear Band-Aids at work in the first aid kits that is dope.
One of them, the one that you can put over like blisters and shit, that one's fire.
Oh, the quick heal ones?
Yeah, those ones
Dude,
dope.
I love those.
Those are dope.
I love those so much because they're like,
I put them on my heels. They're so nice. So nice.
My goodness. I'm glad you understand how awesome those are too, because I found them at work. I was like, what is this? Yo, this is, slap that bitch on. I'm like, dude, this is incredible.
Yeah, and you don't even feel it either. It's like other
and you
Band-Aids.
can wash your hands.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come off. It's like silicone almost.
Yeah, but those things have to be like environmentally friendly or something, because the shit, like, if you breathe on it while you're putting it on, it crumbles.
Really?
You have to throw the whole, not crumbles like literally, but like if you bend it the wrong way, the whole thing's just like.
The ones that I've had have all been rugged.
I don't know.
Like I put one on a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Because I got this weird like bump on my finger that I didn't know what it was, and it was really itchy.
Herpes.
Right. But no, and like it's like an awkward place on my finger where like my finger bends a lot.
Yeah.
Like right on a knuckle, like a knuckle, not just. I sounded very stupid there. So it's like right on my knuckle basically, and like if I put a Band-Aid over it, it just
scrubs on it.
Yeah, I
Hits
didn't
it
want to
with
do that,
mush.
but I knew those things are the whole thing is adhesive.
Yeah.
So I stuck it on there, and I stuck it on a little bit bent, and it was rugged, and it stayed there the whole day. I got home, like I actually even forgot about it at one point.
Right.
And like I took a shower, and it was still on there. I got out of the shower when I was like when I was drying myself off. It kind of peeled a little bit. I was like, oh shit, it's still on there.
Yeah.
It was rugged.
Dude, the ones that are for blisters and shit though are fire. I will say that, because like it's like if you put on a normal Band-Aid and then you put a sock on, like when you're walking, that shit's scrubbing against your heel.
Mhm.
You can feel it still. Like it doesn't help.
Have you ever burnt your leg on a motorcycle pipe?
No, I don't think so. No.
I had a really bad
I
blister.
think I did it on a dirt bike.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
pretty sure I did it on a dirt bike.
My stepdad had a motorcycle, and I got on the back of it, and I got a huge blister, like, right on my heel because I rested my, like,
Yep.
leg right on the pipe. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like, I could, like sizzling bacon, dude.
Yeah.
A blister that was, like, this big.
Now, how nice would that
Gross.
Band-Aid have been then? Or did you have one?
Well, back then, I didn't know about it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. You may have noticed Moose has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
I just want to tell all of you out there that, yeah.
So, anyways, I'm Moose, Part 2, Volume 2, the reboot of Moose, and just really want to send it to all of you out there.
Oh, yeah.
So the theme of the night at this point is totally sending it, and if you're not totally sending it at all moments in time, you should probably reevaluate.
I agree.
So we're gonna send it throughout here. Now, what have you been up to this week?
Work,
Yeah.
mainly work. That's about it.
Yeah.
And just shooting the shit. You know what I mean? Typical adult life. It's
Yeah.
really interesting and fun.
I'm having a hard time seeing through these things because all that checkered pattern is like
Yeah, I feel that.
exactly where I'm trying to look at you. But yeah, work's fun as fuck. I install stone countertops, and that's what I do
Oh, yeah?
daily. So I've been working 50+ hour weeks for the last month and a half.
That's no
straight.
fucking fun, dude.
It is because I love my job.
Okay.
And I really enjoy what I do. And I enjoy like the satisfaction of the customers when you are there. Because when we show up, we're the finishing touch.
Mm-hmm.
They've already slogged through all the shitty work. So we show up and lay tops down, and it's like the coup de grace. They're like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing!"
Yeah, it's like extreme house makeover or whatever. When they're like, move that bus,
And they do
and
the
then the people
unveiling.
start crying and they freak the fuck out.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, what is his name? Ty Peddington. Yeah.
That fucking asshole. So yeah, getting to the house, like the people are already pretty excited, and like rarities, you get people that just could not give a fuck less. Like I had 3 jobs in Haverhill today, 3 full kitchen installs, 1 with a vanity. The first one we show up to, it's 9 in the morning, and the dude is like, "Hey, all right, so I gotta go do a job over in Gloucester. You guys gonna be good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna be good. Like, cool. Like, well, see you later. If not, we're just gonna lock up when we're done." He's like, "Yeah, there's
Log him
beer-"
out of his own house.
Dude, he's like, "There's beers in the fridge, and then I got another fridge in the back room with craft beers. I don't know if you guys like craft beers." And we're both standing there like, we're fucking alcoholics. My whole company, like all of us, we just drink, and a lot of us, everything else. But it's like, yeah, we like beer, but dude, it's 9 in the morning. And he's dead serious. Like, yeah, there's beers in this fridge. There's beers in that fridge. Go ahead. And we're like, oh my fucking god! All right.
Okay,
So
all right.
naturally, we get into the job and we're like, let's see what he's got. And he's got some nice stuff. We started out with a Lagunitas little something something. That was nice. Then we had some weird IPA. That was cool. And then we're like, dude, we got to go to like 2 more jobs after this. Like, fuck. A little irresponsible. Whatever. But it's cool. Like, some people are super excited because the next people we rolled up to, this is like a 70-year-old woman, and it's her last kitchen ever. They're never gonna
Oh,
get another
so
one.
it's important.
They're coming out to the back of the truck. She's clapping and
Oh.
woohoo! It's
Oh
like,
my goodness, that's great.
oh, it's pretty cool. It's satisfying, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, like making people happy in general is fucking dope.
It's absolutely dope. It's a really good time because it makes you feel worthwhile, and that's why like I enjoy my job, but the hours lately have been fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And
Like, you just get home and you just fucking pass the fuck out.
not even that's the problem. I turned 30 a month ago, and it's like for the last 2 years, I get tired by the end of the day, and then I know work's over, and I get this like random boost of manic energy until like midnight. And so either I'll go home and I'll work on music and I'll like punch out half of a song real quick, or I will go home and I'll drink and I'll pace and I'll have a fire outside and go over to the neighbors, and it's like 2 in the morning, and I'm finally like, we have to go to bed because we have work. And it's like,
Yeah, I have work in 2 hours.
where is all this fucking tiredness I carry all day long? Like, as soon as I know I'm out of work, the manic energy shows up, and it's just driving me crazy.
You know what I think that is? I think it's all in here, because
Okay.
I'm the same way at work. Where
Yeah.
it's like, I inspect plane parts and whatnot for my job. So I'm sitting at a desk all day, and I'm like measuring them, doing this shit, all day, doing this, typing stuff into spreadsheets at work. And then, like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, doing this all day. It gets to the end, like, that 2:30 feeling, and it kicks in. I'm like, oh, I could use a 5-hour energy. And then
Absolutely.
it's like 3:15 is when I get out. And then, I get out and I'm like fucking, I go home, I'm ready to take a nap, and I take a little nap.
Little nap goes a long way.
A little nap goes a long way, because I'll get home, I'll take like an hour nap.
Yeah.
And that's only an hour out of my day. I'll get home at 4, take a nap, wake up at 5,
Yeah, and you're ready to go.
make myself a little bit
Refreshed.
of dinner, and then I stay up until midnight.
Absolutely.
And like, I'm good to go, man. I'm good to go.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love naps.
That's funny. The guy I work with, I rent a room out of his basement.
Mm-hmm.
His dad, who we live with, he does that. What you do, he works at Brazonics. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I'm not familiar.
They're down by Hampton area. I think Collins is the company that is their umbrella company, but he does that. He's a quality control manager, so he has to check literally everything they do put out.
Yeah, he would be like the boss of my position.
Yeah, that's stressful shit, because you guys are held liable if things fail.
Yeah, like I have like a certification stamp, and it's like,
Yeah. If you apply
this
your stamp
passes
to something and it fails, you're liable.
Yeah, dude, there was a Boeing plane that had to make an emergency landing because one of the engines fucking like not exploded, but it like it fucked up because this was like 2 years ago, but from our company, there was, because what we put, they're like little steel balls to check if there's any like debris or anything in the tubes. We make sure the ball passes through the tube and make sure it's clear of all debris and
you send it
open
through with air
Well, no, like
or gravity.
Gravity, basically.
That's
we
cool.
put the ball in, comes out the other side. Okay, good. Next
Yeah.
part, same thing. Someone put a ball in, it got stuck. So then they put another ball in to try and knock that ball out. But they knocked the first ball out, but the second ball stayed in there, and for some reason they didn't think about that. And they said, okay, next part. That ball went through, and it just, for some reason, it just
Didn't click, yeah.
So that part got completely fixed up, ready, finished product, sent out. It missed we have an X-ray department too. They like missed the X-ray shit, and it got installed on the plane. The plane took off, and like an hour into the flight, there was like an issue, and like the engine failed, and like it I think if I remember correctly, it like caught fire and shit. They had to make an emergency landing, and then they found out it was that tube with traceability that came back to us at our place, and then these people who passed it and all that, and it came back to like one person. I'm pretty sure that person got fucked.
Yeah, that's a gross negligence, and you're dealing with human lives. We have a limited amount of QC in my shop, but what we do is such a niche business that it's like, who the fuck cares if there's a problem with the countertop? Like, what you're dealing with is major shit.
Yeah.
Human lives,
dude,
so
and
that's crazy.
Some of the people that work at my place,
Total fuck ups.
Yeah, like it's unbelievable. And these people are dealing with parts that go on planes that fly commercially.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary when you see a dude fucking coked up or heroined out, across the hall, and he's fucking working on parts for airplanes.
The guy I live with, his company just went through this hire, and so like they're diversity hiring now, like, keeping up with the times, which is understandable. But the links that are gone to ensure a diversity hire so that they can have
it's almost
proper
trying
PR,
too hard.
They're trying too hard, and so they're hiring any fucking schlep that shows up that says, "Oh, I am such and such." Or I am this, or I am that. And it's like, oh, well, we don't have any of that type of people on our staff.
Like,
so we might as
come
well
on
just pull,
in.
yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem is like, never mind. And it's such backwards thinking. And I don't stand by this thinking, but most of the people that work there are like, we don't really want to deal with these people. Like,
yeah.
But the real thing is that they don't know shit. Like, we're hiring someone that's...
Yeah, it's not the problem of the people. It's
they don't
the
know
people that
what
they're hiring
doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the big thing. It's like, it'd be one thing if it was a fucking coin-op laundromat, or if it was a restaurant, or if it was a department store, or if it was...
Yeah, that doesn't really need training other than, like...
job, not a fucking... You're literally ratifying a piece of equipment that is directly connotated to an engine or a machination that supports human life, like in the various forms that it does. Like plane parts, holy shit, really big.
Yeah.
That it sends me for a loop. Like, I'm all for fucking hiring anyone for the job that they're qualified for, no matter what the specifications of the person.
The key is qualified.
And like, we can't be having fucking diversity hires strictly because of the want to be diverse and not to be challenged as a public entity. Like, oh my God, you don't hire any fucking LGBT people, or oh my God, you don't hire any POCs, or oh my God, you don't hire any people with autism. It's like, we have to make sure that they can do the fucking job first.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess it really goes through all presences of the workforce, is that you really got to make sure you're hiring someone that's capable. I mean, even a fucking landscaping. When John was working landscaping, he's telling me about they're hiring such and such kid, and they call out Monday, and then they call out Wednesday, and then they're 2 hours late Thursday, and it's like,
yeah, at that point, like, just
axe them. But
yeah,
if wrongful termination or even termination itself, people can collect and shit, and it's just like, do you just suffer through until they quit and then they can't fucking
that's
collect?
the hard part, especially with like how technology has advanced to the point where everyone has a voice in everyone, well, not everyone, but most people aren't afraid to use it. And like, in a lot of cases that's good, but in a lot of cases that's also bad, because it's like, well, this person who just goes off the wall about anything, they get people behind them because they're charismatic.
Yes.
And then they have this army of people that will fucking attack this and that for other things just because they're mad about it.
Oh, it's the bandwagon mentality.
It's like this
the torches mentality.
Yeah, the whole outrage culture that we have, especially online nowadays.
And that's one of the biggest things, is because if you have an issue at work, you can just take to Twitter or you can take to Facebook and you can post about whatever is bothering you, and within 30 minutes you can have thousands of people who don't even know the specifications of your claims or what the actual technicality of your problems are.
The weight of anything.
They just
doesn't
chime
matter.
in. And we're actually, like, we're getting to the point now where we're having, like, fake doxing, and people that you're in a group with 11,000 people, and someone you don't even know on the internet, you get into an altercation with them, you go and you search their employer information, and it's like, well, they said this thing in an argument. Do you really want someone like that working for you? And boom, you're fucking terminated.
Yeah.
Granted-
A lot of that shit is crazy.
Granted, a lot of it is good because it exposes people for being racist or homophobic or transphobic or like whatever fucking phobias that are not supposed to exist. So we're like, it's a good thing, but then again, it can be construed in the wrong fucking way. We can have people like, just like with false imprisonment and false incarceration, we can have people that like, I didn't even fucking say that, but 30 people on the internet just messaged my boss, and now my boss is like, I'm getting so much backlash from just you existing that I gotta cut ties whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's like being in a restaurant nowadays, and if you're a male server or bartender and someone comes up and the allegation may not even be true, but if they make an allegation against you, you're fucking terminated.
Yeah, no questions asked.
And that's kind of like, it's good because a lot of the times it only takes one out of the multiple victims that someone will victimize to actually say something, because we live in a culture that we're still not comfortable enough, especially women are not comfortable enough to go and raise these allegations. But then there's the fucking crazy ass fucking people that will make the false allegations just to see someone burn.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like with false imprisonment or false incarceration, and like cops falsifying fucking evidence, or the DA taking a pass on someone and just saying, you know what, we got to fucking bolster numbers, or like the state cop who's like, you know what, your shit's not really that out of regs, or you weren't speeding that much, but I'm going to fuck you over anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in that one specifically.
Especially what you were saying with this world of fucking technology we have here, we're all like under scrutiny at all times.
Yeah, there's always eyes. Like, dude,
Always
if
eyes.
you post something on the internet, it's always there. It doesn't matter if you delete
if you
it.
delete it or not, it
there.
exists.
It exists on the internet. It's archived somewhere in some
I
way.
have some questionable posts out there from
Dude,
years ago. It's like,
me
what the
too. Well,
fuck?
and that's the thing that's even crazier about it, is that some of these people will go onto like celebrities. Like, I think, who was it? Like Kevin Hart said something like, I think it was like 2009. He posted on Twitter something about like he made like a gay joke.
Yeah.
And, you know, people found it a couple months ago and they brought it up and they're like, Kevin Hart on, you know, February 26, 2009 at 1:43 p.m. said something gay people, like, I don't like gay people or something like that. And it's this huge thing. And he's just like, dude, that was 10 years ago. I'm a totally different person now. Like, I said some stupid shit on the internet, you know?
That's the thing is, and it's also like a totally different social climb right now. It's like 10 years, and I hate to say it, like, I'm not making excuses, but 10 years ago, it was totally socially acceptable to make different jokes than we can now. And as a society and as people, we are supposed to be growing and realizing the fact that, no, it's not okay to fucking make fun of Caitlyn Jenner anymore for being transsexual. No, it's not okay to use the term tranny. No, it's not okay to say faggot in that term. Just like it's not okay to say the N-word, which I will not fucking say because of the times we live in.
Yeah.
But 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a lot of different things were socially acceptable than they are now. And it's mind-blowing the fact, like the lengths people will go to drag each other through the dirt because there's nothing better for them to do, or there's nothing better to get offended over. We're dealing in a crazy, crazy time of scrutiny.
Yeah, I can't stand that shit now.
We have a lot of ground to continue to break, because now we're getting into the age of over offensiveness. Like, everything is construed as offensive and nothing is okay to joke about. And like, we're in the order of free speech, we're going to police ourselves so much that we can't even speak anymore. And the intolerance of intolerance is going to just send send all social media into the dirt. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to see everyone with a half a brain leaving all types of social media within the next 2 to 3 years. It's going to get shut down. We're going to glass ourselves again. We're going to go back to like flip phones and shit. Like, thank you. I'll text you. I'll text you or I'll call you. Like, I don't want a record of what I'm saying anymore. And not just not because like I'm gonna say something incendiary, but I just don't want people knowing I talk.
Well, I mean, you're talking on a podcast that's gonna go online, but
In a couple years, we might not be doing this anymore.
yeah, maybe not.
Or we might be doing this direct live from our fucking brains with a chip in our head or our arm where we just funnel our thoughts directly into other people's heads.
Wouldn't that be insane?
We're going to go one of either ways. Boys, I'm going to hand you off. And remember, oh, yeah.
You never properly introduced yourself. You want to introduce yourself?
My name's Michael. I live in New Hampshire. I make music. And that's about it.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for stopping by, man.
Thanks for having me on. This has been a great time.
Yeah. Hey, have a good night, man.
Welcome back to the Macc podcast. We had a small intermission there.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we could always hit him up
Yeah.
and see if he wants to come on.
He was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I liked
we could
him.
just talk about constructs and shit.
We should pick his brain because he had a lot of crazy. He left on saying stuff about podcasts in the future could be live streamed from our brain. I want to pick that guy's brain.
Oh yeah, I want to talk more about it. One thing he was talking about when I walked in though, is about social media.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just say that's pretty much what I was saying earlier, and I completely agree with him, dude. I've considered just deleting all of my social media so many times.
Yeah, me too. Because I mainly I use my Facebook for basically memes, and then I'm like, hey, by the way, this is what I look like 6 months since my last picture.
Grandma,
or
I'm
something like
alive. Here's a picture
or
of
like
me.
here's a picture of like my bearded dragon because he's cute or something like that.
Right, exactly. And it's like, dude, we've talked about this a little bit. It's like I can't stand the artificial lifestyle thing where it's like you go through extreme extents and like
Yeah, all for likes and all to try and look like you
Right.
have this special life on fucking.
right, like nobody gives a fuck
Instagram.
what you're up to or what your moves are. Like I can respect when like if there's a picture that looks like it was professionally done,
Mhm.
like and like I don't know how to say this without my girlfriend making me sleep on the couch, but like if a girl's like looking really good and takes a picture or something, and it's like that's slightly respectful because it's like, oh, you look really good here.
Yeah,
Like that's one thing, but it's like these girls that get dressed up and they're like thong lace bikinis, go on the beach and like they're posting the picture because they want to post a booty pic for the internet, but they're not going to take that leap.
yeah.
but they're going to
well,
give you like the
because they know it gets a lot of likes.
right, and it's
and
like
that's what
what
they want
does that
is the
account
attention.
to at the end or amount to at the end of the day? Like who the fuck?
But it doesn't amount to
cares?
anyone because it's just fictional likes on
An
a
app.
fictional platform that people really don't give a fuck about. Like you see this, you're scrolling through Instagram and you see this girl who's got a nice ass and you're like, huh, and you click on it and it's all booty titty pics basically. She's in wearing basically nothing, obviously posting those pictures because she knows it gets attention on the internet because everyone's fucking horny as shit.
Right.
But it's all this fictional life. It's all for the attention.
Which
And
I'm all about. Wait, sorry to cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, it's just like, do what makes you happy if
Right.
that's what makes you happy, but know that it's at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter one bit. If you disappeared, those people would look at some other chick doing it or some other dude doing it if they're posting the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's like I'm all about like self-confidence and all that. Like if you think you look really good in this picture, post it for
Yeah.
the fact that you
Swing
feel
that
like
dick,
yeah,
dude. Swing that
yeah,
dick.
like that is something to be proud of. If you think you look really good, post that shit. If you're confident about it, dope. But like
Yeah.
you're going to these extremes for probably 30% strangers that you've never had a real conversation with.
And
Maybe
for
even
some
more.
people, 99% strangers.
Right.
They get millions and millions of followers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they take very specific pictures of very specific moments in their life. Just got a new car, just got a new house.
Yeah.
I'm getting married. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Oh my God, like baby, amazing vacation pictures and stuff like that. But it's just like, in wow English, it influences people in a certain way where I'm scrolling through my Facebook and I see this person posting nonstop pictures of all the road trips they take and this and that and all these amazing things, and you compare your life to them. You're like, wow, man, I go to work every fucking day and I make shit money and I do this and I do that, and like my life fucking sucks compared to them. But reality, dude, they have hard times too, but they just don't share that on the internet. You don't see that. You don't think about it. You just think that their life is so amazing.
Yeah, see, and like, first of all, Drake wrote a song, and like one of the lyrics was like, I know girls posting pictures from their last vacation just to make it seem like they're always on the move or something like that.
I like that.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. Second of all, these poor individuals, could you imagine, like, if me and you were to hang out? I'm all about, like, for the record, if me and you were to go hang out and be like, yo, let's take some dope pics of each other. About it. Like, all about it.
Some sweet-ass candids.
Right. Like, I'm down for that. But at the same time, it's like, if you're literally going out to try to take, like, the most, like, sexualized thing in the world so that random people on the internet can make a like number go up and that's what helps you sleep at night, like, I kind of feel bad for you.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
that's what you're getting your, like, serotonin out of, is likes on the internet. Like, that's stupid.
But it's stupid, but some people, like, the way that society, not necessarily society, but the way that the world is moving to the internet. Everything is the internet. Everything's getting online. Everything is connected through the internet for this, that, and other things.
Right.
And have you ever watched Black Mirror?
Mm-mm. Only Bandersnatch. Fire.
Oh my goodness. You need to watch.
Well, we can just do that after this.
Yeah, well, we got to watch Wolf on Wall Street first.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, Black Mirror, they have these amazing concepts of these things that could all be totally real.
Like alternate universe kind of shit?
No, like this universe that
what it's going to, like, progress into?
But yeah, like, you know, there's this one episode where basically everyone, it's like, think of Facebook, but it's integrated into life. It's augmented into you and me, and I realized I said you and pointed to me, and then I said me and pointed to you.
Yeah, nice.
But it's like it's augmented into everyone, and you can rate people, and they have this special number, and you know there's this whole clique in society of people with the high numbers, and then there's like the losers with the low numbers, and the whole idea of it is, you know, you rate them the 5 stars, and you know, and then that makes their number go up because they got 5 stars. And the whole episode is basically this girl who's trying to live this perfect life and show that she's got this perfect life, taking the pictures, trying to show everyone like, oh my God, like look at my nails, I did this, you know, I have this perfect life, I'm one of these people.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get people to, you know, rate it and go up and up and up and up so she can be a part of this and show her friend who is a part of that she's the same thing. But she's not. She's just an average person.
Right.
So the whole episode, she's trying to prove all that and get up there so when she meets up with her friend who is part of that group, she can show her that. But she goes through all kinds of shit, like, you know, like someone crashes her car, I think, like crashes into her car, and she gets mad and she freaks out, and they rate her like 1 star. So her rating goes down.
Yeah.
And basically the whole struggle is trying to get up, but everything keeps happening to make it go down. So when she finally shows up to the party, she's like, you know what? This is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing? She's like, fuck all of you. Fuck everyone. This is so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of like you gotta watch Black Mirror, man. That the show makes you think.
You know what's fucked up too? To an extent, we already live in that kind of construct.
We do.
Because it's
and that's why this show is so fucked up and crazy. Well, fucked up in the best way. It's so fucked up because everything that they have. Well, besides the first episode, we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
one.
we fuck pigs.
We don't talk about that episode. But everything else, it's like every single thing on that show could very well be a reality within the next year, within the next 10 years. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but that one pretty much already is, though, because it's like not only do people seek attention from, these like over-sexualized things or these overly dramatized lifestyles where it's like, I took 48 pictures in Florida. I'm going to disperse of those 48 pictures over the next 3 years.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? And it's like we already live in a time where it's like that girl gets 14,000 likes on Instagram. There's no way I could talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't approach that. And that's stupid. That's so fucked up. Like,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all human.
yeah, no
We're all-
shit.
We're all just people getting through our shit, man.
Right, and social media drives me nuts. I don't like the idea of not only like highlighting certain things to make my life seem like it's more important than it actually is, but on top of that, pretending to be somebody I'm not, just so random followers on the internet are like, this guy's dope. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like about the podcast is we talk about stupid shit. Like we talk about poop. We talk about getting in trouble, and we talk about bad shit that's happened to us and all that stuff. It kind of shows that, like we're just regular old people too, man. And that's what I love about other podcasts too, because you get to see their, celebrities. You see them going doing stand up and having thousands of people show up, and they make all this crazy money. But then you hear them on the podcast, and they just live a regular life too while doing that stuff.
right, and that podcasts are dope for that reason too. But also, I like to use that as a gauge of, does this person suck? Like,
Right.
Like, because it's like you hear them talk, and sometimes they're like not even well spoken whatsoever. They're boring as shit. Like, aside from, okay, this is an actress that is a great actress, and then you like listen to them on a podcast, and they're just so like monotone, boring. Like, they're not conversational at all. It's like, you're kind of a boring individual. Like,
Yeah.
I use it as that gauge too. Podcasts are dope for that reason though. And not only that, but have we really talked about anything like cool, like good that's happened to us? I mean, we talked about you getting a computer, but like that was it.
And I mean, you've talked about getting your new job that you're excited about.
Have I?
I think so. I think you mentioned stuff about your new job in like the first episode, I think.
I don't think I did.
Maybe. Well, Moose is getting a new job, and he's excited about it.
Did I? No, I don't think I did, but it's besides the point. Point being, it's like we're hanging out. We're shooting this shit.
Yeah.
Like, even if these mics weren't here, this is just what we'd be talking about anyway.
Pretty much.
It's like we live a normal ass life, and it's like,
I really wish that we podcasted that entire night, that we stayed up that one Friday.
the laundry basket night.
The laundry basket night. Because, dude, we literally talked for like 12 hours straight.
I'm gonna be real with you. If I talked about that night, I probably would have a very big fight with my girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Probably there would be like one or two people that wanted to fight me. One for sure.
Good point. Well, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But still.
I don't censor myself by any means, but at the same time, there's just things that I'm respectful enough not to talk about.
Yeah, there are things we shouldn't talk about on the podcast.
Right. It's like, I know I'm not going to bring up something that I know would piss Brittany off. Like that thing earlier, I was like, cut this.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm not going to bring that up. A, it's nobody's fucking business. B, she'd get pissed.
True.
So it's like, I'm respectful enough not to talk about that. And then that one story, you obviously won't know what I'm talking about because we told so many stories that night. After we're done, I'll be like, this was the story I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I remember.
It's like that kid would easily, like, if he were to find out about this, message me and be like, so this is what you think? You're admitting to this, and this?
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, I tried to fucking fight you once. You weren't about it, so keep running that mouth. I know where
Kyle?
you live. Dude.
Yeah.
Yo, so you said we're going to watch Wolf of Wall Street later. Give me your best business pitch right now.
Best business
Yeah,
pitch?
best business pitch. Like, all right, so let's say we have a sponsor that we're working out a deal with. Tell me, as the sponsor, why you are worth me promoting my product with you on your content. Tell me why it would benefit me.
I don't know how to do that.
Manscaped. Start with Manscaped.
I don't know how to do that.
What do you mean? Dude, it's the easiest fucking thing in the world. What do you mean? Anybody can do that. Anybody can be a salesman.
Yeah, okay.
So do it. Are you nervous to do it or you don't know how to do it?
A little bit of both. I'm not going to lie.
What's to be nervous about?
Well, I don't know. I know very well I'll probably embarrass myself, but at the same
cares?
time, I don't know where to start. I don't know what the fuck to talk about with it. I don't know like how do I do that?
It's all right. Okay. So here at Macc, I feel like we would be a good audience to promote your product for. I feel that way because we touch on things that not a lot of people want to talk about. We have a large audience that I know several of them are males. Several of them need manscaping grooming products as well as females do. This isn't something that's normally publicized on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Not many people talk about this thing. However, I know a bunch of people could benefit from it. This is something that we bring up jokingly. Therefore, I know a lot of our audience is listening to what we're talking about when we're talking about shaving our balls. We're talking about ball deodorant and all that. So I know that if you were to take your product and promote it here, we are putting in people's faces a product that we know that they need, but they don't know where to look for it.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Sold.
So I'll be handling business emails.
Yes. I can be well spoken, but I don't think I'm a business guy.
I went to college for business.
See, that explains it.
I like sales. Sales is super fun. Business in general is super cool.
You see, I don't know if I could do that.
You're a very creative person though. Like I don't have the creativity skills that you do. Like you can manifest a song in your head and be like, I know what I'm trying to portray with these guitar chords. Boom. And it's like everybody else listening to it knows that that's a fucking sad song. Like I can't do that shit.
Well,
I'm more logistics and statistics and pen on paper. I'm in a fucking.
Well, here's the thing about that. Don't ostracize me if I'm wrong about this, but all right, enough. The two sides of the brain,
Left
whereas
brain.
one, where it's like the left Twix and the right Twix, which one's better? But like one side of the
Both of them.
both. One side of the brain focuses more on, logistics and this and that.
Side.
Okay. See, I don't know. But I know that there's the whole theory about them. Whereas the other side will focus on more creative things like music and stuff like that. So it's like one would be business. The other side would be like music and art
Right.
and stuff like that. See, where, I
What?
just realized something.
What?
With your half of that brain and my half of the other, we make a full brain.
We make a full brain. I can be creative though. That's the thing. Like that thing we were working on today, the behind a Mac.
Behind the Mac,
I
like that.
literally have that whole fucking thing pictured in my head. I know
Mhm.
exactly how it's going to look when it's done. I know how I wanted it to look, and I know what clips I had to record to make it look a certain way. So I'm creative in that aspect.
Yeah, of course. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like when it's done.
Right. Like I can do that, but it's like music I can't do. Art
Mhm.
I can't draw. I can't do any of that. I can make clothing slightly, but like even then, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I make a couple graphics in Photoshop and just slap them on a shirt. Like
Right.
there's only there's a bar that you reach. It's like you're only this creative because all you're doing is throwing graphics on a shirt.
Well, I mean, creativity spans through all things.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be creativity to music or drawing, any sort of art. Everything is art.
True.
There is an art to everything. You know what I mean? Like you see a salesman, that is an art. Not everyone can do that. Some people are so good with their words and so charismatic that they could sell you anything.
I want to be a salesman so fucking bad.
But there are some people who are creative in different ways where they can make a samurai helmet out of a bike helmet, or you create a new instrument, or design a picture that's beautiful like that. You know what I mean? Like creativity flows through everything.
Yeah, it spans on much different ways. I see that. I'm creative, like I said, to a point. In certain fields, I guess I should say.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But business is my shit. I like business. I like business a lot. What else you got?
Well, let's see. I'll pick a random thing from here. Let me see. All right, so I have something kind of funny that we giggled about. It's funny, but it's sad.
Uh-oh.
A dog therapist.
A dog therapist?
A dog therapist.
Oh, my God. All right. You want me to tell the story? Is that where this is going?
If you want to tell the story.
How are you going to give context without a story?
It's a fucking dog therapist. And that's why it's funny, but it's also sad. But
all right. So my dog, Zeus, German Shepherd, big boy, he recently became overly protective. And when strangers come in the house, he's always barked when people come in the house. But now it's to the point where he'll sprint towards the door, he'll bark right in your face, and occasionally he'll go for a nibble. And the nibble got very aggressive. He didn't tear somebody's leg off. He just bit somebody's coat pocket or something. Yeah. And it ripped. And my parents were looking at the idea of maybe he has to be put down because you can't have an aggressive dog that's going to kill somebody or whatever. Yeah. So we looked into different options, and obviously nobody in my family wants to put the dog down, and the options were to completely drug him out. But my family somehow found a doggy therapist. And
a therapist for dogs.
Yes. So what the therapist does is it comes to the house and it works with Zeus personally and tries to provoke different reactions based on different situations, essentially is what they're doing. So it's
is it kind of like training him? Is it like a trainer in a different sense?
Yes, but it's it's like a trainer that has to try out every possibility to figure out what is the best solution to the problem, essentially.
Yeah. Are they trying to also figure out what necessarily triggers him to what does or what has triggered him to become so aggressive lately?
No. They're just trying to
work ways around it to try and
right. So what we've done and what our doggy therapist has suggested, all right, so when you walk into my parents' house, you walk in through the garage, you're in the laundry room, and then you walk into the actual house, you're in the kitchen. To the right of that, there's an office. And there's two entrances, one by the front door, and then there's the one leading into the kitchen. But they're just doorways. They're not it's not doored in, obviously. Mm-hmm. So we put up baby gates. So when we know we have people coming over,
he can't jump them?
No. Well, he probably could, but he's I don't know if it's a respect thing or what, but he's a big dog, dude.
Interesting.
He could probably easily jump over him if he really wanted to, but he won't. So we lock him in there when we know we have people coming over. And the new thing is when you come in, you're not allowed to look at him. Because if he barks at you and you just walk by him, he apparently, our doggy therapist, told us that in his mind, he's like, oh, well, shit. They don't even care that I'm here. I might as well not even try. So it's don't even acknowledge.
Well,
them.
I have heard a thing about looking, not all animals, but certain animals that struggle with dominance, especially dogs. Dogs, sometimes cats. It was like bears and stuff like that. Looking them directly in the eyes. It's some of them see it as a challenge of dominance.
True, that could be a thing too.
Where you look at him, and most people look at other people in the eyes. So when we see an animal, we look at them in the eyes,
right?
Because that's what our brains are trained to do. It's a respect thing.
Yeah.
Now you look the dog in the eyes, and the dog said it could span from a few different things. Some of it's the way they were raised or trained growing up, or not trained, or this and that.
Yeah.
It could be many, many different things. But they'll you look them in the eyes and they're saying, oh,
they're bitch,
I am the alpha and you're challenging me. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's, obviously I don't know because I don't know your dog. You know what I mean? But,
he's just a dog.
just a dog. But like he could think of it as like
That makes sense.
a challenge of dominance. Whereas like you walk in, he starts barking. You look forward, look ahead. He's like, okay, all right,
Respect.
yeah. Okay, walk away.
So that's
And then he sits down and he just watches.
yeah. So that's number one. Number two, we got him a pheromone collar. So like there's scents of his mother in that collar, and it like disperses like the scents like throughout the day,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to calm him down.
Really?
And now the bomb, the mother load solution here, we drug the fuck out of him with CBD. The shit out of him.
Well, see, CBD doesn't get you high.
I know, but it like when you're giving it to him in a shit obviously the recommended
it
dose.
mellows
but
you kind of, but it doesn't necessarily get you high.
yeah, it doesn't make you like incapable and just like.
Yeah.
But still, it's another thing to mellow him out.
Mm-hmm.
So we put CBD in his breakfast and his dinner.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it's supposed to mellow him out.
But isn't that fascinating? CBD.
Honestly, yeah.
Cause I had like CBD oil vape juice for a little while, and from what I heard, it could do all these crazy things that benefit you. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this. So like, I bought a couple bottles of like the vape juice. That was like CBD vape juice, and I used it regularly every day for like 3, 4, 5 months, and like I was sleeping better. Like my back didn't hurt. Like you ever like sleep weird and you wake up and your back is like, ugh!
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the time, dude.
And it's like that didn't happen.
Right.
My feet didn't hurt at the end of the day because I was like standing on my feet all day in the shipping department at work and stuff like that. Like my feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. Like I felt like I was thinking clearer. Like it was absolutely crazy. Like a lot of the times I think of stuff like that and I'm like, how much of everything that I'm told benefits me is just placebo?
True.
Like,
but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not, because this is something that's chemically made, I would assume.
Yeah, well, but I just mean like in the term of questioning everything. Like I have so many crazy rants and things that I think that people would probably think I'm absolutely fucking whacked if I let them all out, like alien theories and shit like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody does, but nobody has the balls to say it though.
I'll bring them up sometime on the podcast.
All right.
But I like to question everything. If I'm told something, why? Why is it this way? What makes it that way, and who says so?
Right.
And is it proven? How is it proven? Those kinds of things keep me stimulated and keep me thinking, where it's like, well, this citronella candle says it keeps bugs away. Why does it do that? Okay, well, there's a chemical in it. Well, what's that chemical? Okay, so how does that chemical affect the bugs? Okay.
Yeah.
Or is it just a flame? Is it just a smell? Is like that shit fascinates me. I like getting to the nitty gritty, like the tiny little itty bitty details of certain things to find those fucking magnet necklaces that people had. They were like, it's supposed to make your balance better. And it's just
dude.
It's like a magnet. It's just a magnet.
That's placebo.
Exactly. But so many people believe it just because they were told.
See, and that's placebo, 100%. Wearing a bracelet is not going to affect. Dude, I'm 6'6". Do you really think a magnetic bracelet is going to stop my clumsy ass from falling down a flight of stairs? No, it's
Right.
not. It's a bracelet. Like,
yeah, or see, I could imagine something to do with like magnets and electromagnets,
but
with your brain, maybe.
Yeah, but that's if
because
they're like plugged into your fucking head.
Well,
like,
still, think about it. The human species,
yeah,
we know so much about so many things, but we still know so little about our human brains.
right.
We still know so little about brains in general. Dude, think about this. What blows my mind, you don't think about it. You point to yourself. You are in your body, right?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Your brain is you. Your body is just a bag of flesh that carries you from place to place. This is you up here.
Right.
You are electrical impulses in tissue. All your memories are stored in flesh.
Well, I don't think in flesh. They're stored in your brain.
Well, your brain is like tissue.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. True,
you know
true,
what I mean?
true.
I just said it wrong. But like, how fascinating is that? How fucking crazy is it that we are human beings? We see each other. I am one person. You are one person.
Really, it's a brain talking to another brain, though.
Exactly. But we see each other as you are one individual. I am one individual.
Yeah.
We are billions and billions and billions of cells, microorganisms working together in unison, all like a hive mind of microorganisms working together to create us. That shit hurts my fucking brain, and I love thinking about stuff like that.
Do you watch Ancient Aliens?
No.
No? Why not?
I don't know. Like, I think I watched it one day, but
Oh.
like I was just like hanging out on a lazy Sunday or something like that. But
okay,
like,
fair.
or like how fucking enormous how enormous the universe is perceived to be. Like, how do we really know?
We don't.
We don't. I don't. Maybe some other scientist does because they're measuring with all this shit, but I don't. I've never seen any of it. You look up, you're standing in the Grand Canyon, you feel so fucking small.
Right.
But the Grand Canyon is so fucking small on the grand scheme of everything. We are like the size of an atom, if even smaller, you and I, compared to the universe. Like, you'll see a comparison of some of these discovered planets where like the Earth
two new planets just got discovered.
I need to look that shit up.
That
But
did
it's
just happen.
like you'll see Earth is this big, and then it scrolls over, and there's another planet that's this big, and Earth looks small. Earth looks smaller, and then it keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then you can't even see Earth anymore. It's so small you can't even see it on the graph. And then it's like this other planet and this other star that was found and this other thing, and then this thing that made Earth look like literally like a fucking speck of sand is now a speck of sand itself in comparison to something else of stars and planets that we found. And how enormous of a journey the Earth travels on every single year. Each rotation around the sun, millions and millions and millions of miles of just traveling. Like, the shit blows my fucking mind.
Does
man.
it fuck you up that you can't feel the Earth spinning? Or moving?
No, because we're so small.
Wouldn't that make it
We are
more of an
infinitesimal.
impact?
Well, no.
Well, think of
gravity.
if you put an ant or a beetle in your hand, right? Pretty
Yeah.
sure like A Bug's Life or some fucking Disney movie probably covered this. But if you put like a little bug in your hand, they view your hand as like, what the fuck? Like they're in something huge. So when
Yeah.
you shake it around, it's like you're causing an earthquake for that bug, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, like,
so
I guess the size comparison is a lot different, but I see where you're going with that. Like, if you think about it, like, you know, this ant walking in front of you, it doesn't perceive you. You are this enormous creature that probably they don't even recognize. Like, you go down there and you smash an anthill and all the ants start scattering around. They're probably like, what the fuck was that?
right.
They're not thinking like, oh, that's a human. They're just big.
No, I know.
They're probably just like, what the fuck was that enormous thing that just came down and fucking destroyed our mound? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
true.
like even smaller like organisms and stuff like that. Like I'm just gonna keep going down a rabbit hole of crazy shit. But
Fair.
it's so fascinating to think about how small we are.
Dude, you got to go on the conspiracy theory Reddit. You would get lost.
I already have many
Dude,
times.
it's
have
insane.
you seen Zeitgeist?
Zeitgeist?
Zeitgeist, like Zeitgeist Addendum.
Mm-mm.
they go through a lot of conspiracy theories and show a lot of evidence for a bunch of stuff. Like they went on about like 9/11, and they went on about like religion and how there's so many different correlations within religion and relate it to astrology. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Dude, I have so much shit to show you of how my brain works with this stuff, dude. I haven't even cracked the door on how fucking insane I am about this stuff.
I mean, everybody has their thing.
I love poop and fart and dick jokes, but at the same time, I'm fascinated by the universe and how fucking incredible it is that we exist.
Yeah, I feel that. What do you feel about the? Okay, let me think about that actually. Okay, well, what do you think about evolution?
Evolution?
Yeah. Do you think we really manifested ourselves from atoms and just evolved into this?
Well, see, I have a lot of thought processes on that because, like, I'm not a scientist. I haven't done any actual hard research on this shit, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't believe in creationism, like how God created the universe.
What do you believe in?
Well, I don't know what I believe in because I don't know what's actually true.
Fair, yeah.
Theories that I've heard that fascinate me are like, of course, evolution, but I heard this one theory of, like aliens. We cannot be the only living
of course
creatures in the entire universe.
It wouldn't make sense.
There has to be other shit here.
There has to be.
So think about it like this. We are how do I explain this without sounding absolutely insane? We are the aliens.
To somebody else.
Well, think about it. We are the aliens to the Earth. Like, Earth was Earth. It had the animals and the apes and you know what I mean? Like, the aliens came. Well, like, obviously not saying this is exactly what I believe, but a theory that I heard that fascinates me. Per se, aliens visited Earth and saw that this is a habitable environment where life can thrive.
Yeah.
They sped up the process. They bioengineer apes. They restructure their DNA to facilitate evolution.
So then where did the start of the Earth come from? Or the start of the universe then? If that's the case, where did those aliens start?
Well, I mean, the whole idea of it is the Big Bang, where a star imploded.
Created life?
Well, I don't know.
See, this is the shit that pisses me off.
Yeah, because like there's so much to it. It is so fucking massive that how do we really know?
And that's what pisses me the fuck off, is because it's like, if I'm gonna not talk about something, but if there's a theory, and whether I support, believe in it, whatever, it's like, okay, for 99% of the things in the world that I want to know about, I can know about it. I can go to a library. I can go to the internet. I can figure some shit out, and like I can get an answer to everything. The one thing that nobody has the answer to is how everything started, and that pisses me off because I want to know so fucking bad.
Well, they do have an answer, and
with no
context.
That's what
of course
pisses me off. There's no evidence.
Exactly, and that's what's so crazy about all of this is that how do we go back that far? How do we go back supposedly trillions and trillions and trillions of years to find out how this all started? How can we?
It's annoying.
Yeah. It is, but it's also...
It's fascinating, but it's annoying. It's like, I want to fucking know.
But think about it like this. If you knew, there would be no wonder. It wouldn't matter to you anymore because you know.
Okay, so?
So you have the answer. No one else strives to make any progress on it because you have the answer. So
Okay,
other potential discoveries about that stuff and everything in between, people, well, this is how it happened.
Yeah, okay, if you know the starting point of how it happened, that's one thing, but then you would still want to know what happened from the starting point to current.
Yeah,
That
of
would
course.
still have its place.
But I don't think we would ever have an actual way of finding for real exactly how everything started.
Yeah, which is annoying.
Yeah.
That's super dumb. I want to know so bad. What if there's water on Mars because humans used to live on Mars and ruined it and then sent a spacecraft to the Earth, which was the Big Bang that wiped the dinosaurs out?
Well, the Big Bang, the theory of the Big Bang is that a star imploded, which you know what imploding is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a massive star imploded, and which sent out everything. Which it imploded to the point of an atom, and then with all that energy generated, it exploded from there, and since then everything's been moving further and further apart. I know what you meant, but the Big Bang is that theory is that, but like the cataclysmic event that supposedly killed the dinosaurs, like the big meteor or whatever they talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be completely...
that is still fucking fascinating, dude.
But I'm going to be completely honest with you. That was a meme that I saw because then, like, it said that. And then it was, like, the follow-up picture that was, like...
Yeah.
See, this
but
is
no,
why...
it's still a thing. And, like, you know, memes can also be intellectual as well. It's like that could have a very valid thought process behind it.
It could. I'm sure somebody could come up with something. This is why I just believe in AI shit, though. In all honesty. Because it's like... It doesn't make sense that we're the only living organisms, or I guess that's not the right thing to say. We're the only planet that is able to be lived on.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. There's no evidence to show where we came from. There's no evidence to show how all this stuff came into place. There's no evidence to show how coincidentally everything that we needed to survive was just here.
Yeah, and
there were trees to create oxygen. There was ozone
and that's
layers.
why, like, I'm so fascinated by the theory about the aliens, and you know, like us being the aliens, or like even ancient civilizations influenced by aliens, is because, like you see all the ancient Egyptian shit where they have the human bodies, like humanoid bodies with like animal heads,
Yeah.
and all this shit that they, you know, like obviously they don't know what it like they wouldn't know what it is, so it's like, it, you know, they relate it. They see, well, this kind of looks like a dog's head, so they draw a dog head, or like chisel it into the stone, or you know they have all these, you know, it's all the relativity of what they know and what they perceive it as.
Right.
But like you see all these crazy ancient Egyptian, ancient Mayan carvings and art of like these crazy beings that they thought of as gods. What if the gods that they believed in were real and they were aliens?
That's
influencing and showing them, like, especially with the fucking pyramids, man. They're so fucking precise and so genius, like with everything. It fucking blows my mind, man. But like, it just like,
But see, even with that theory, there's aliens. Aliens had to come from somewhere.
exactly.
See, that's why I just believe in the whole AI theory. I don't think any of this really exists, in all honesty.
Like a simulation?
Yeah, 100%.
Like we're in the Matrix?
Yes. Dead serious.
Go on.
No, that's it. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's okay. I understand that if evolution is a real thing, Big Bang Theory, whatever, if that's all a real thing, obviously lack of technology and documentation must have been an issue at one point or another. Mm-hmm. There's no way that we could pass on trillions of years of knowledge and evolution and progress of data without it being misconstrued and without it being at some point, one point or another, a game of telephone where
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The first person says it's this, and by the 20 millionth person, they're like,
it's a completely different word.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
There's not enough going on. There's not enough things that have happened to pinpoint anything. And that's Because with every theory, it always boils back down to, okay, so then how did that start? Like,
But that right there, that's what fucking fascinates me the most.
right, but you'll never get to the end. You never will.
And that's why I love it.
But that's great, but at the same time, in order to convince me that I'm not completely saying I'm 100% sold that this is a simulation completely. I'm pretty on the fence of saying that's damn close to true, but like if you can never get to the end of all the loopholes and you can never just say, like, it's great that it gives you something to look into and wonder about, but at the same time you'll never reach the end. There should be an end. One way or another, regardless of the lack of documentation over the years and lack of knowledge transferring and all that, there should be an end. And since there is not one, we are all just living thinking, oh yeah, we're just here. Like, we don't know why, but we are. That doesn't make sense.
But that's why we have hobbies and we have this, that, and other things, is distractions.
Yeah, but why? What's the why? Why distract yourself from it?
Because if we focus too hard on why the fuck are we here? What were we here to do? What's the point of all this? If we exist and then there's time passed and then we don't exist, what's the fucking point of existing at all?
Right.
It's all, you know, we have these, well, I mean, obviously I'm not like talking down on like hobbies and shit like that, but I mean, like, we create this, we create that, and we do all these things to distract ourselves and to move forward for this and that and other things. So we don't sit there and think about what's the point of all this? Where did this come from? Why are we fucking here?
Right.
It's all distractions.
I mean, fair enough, but at the same time, it's, for me anyway, it's still there. Like, with a distraction.
Dude, for me, it's still there too.
Right.
Like, dude, there are so many nights where I lay in bed and I think about this shit. And, like, I used to write all these thoughts down. I used to have, like, a notepad where, like, I get this crazy idea of, like, things I want to, like, research and maybe find out some stuff about, or I think about this, I think about that. I write it down to think about it again later. But it's like all these things that make me think, and the reasons why I can't sleep. I think about it more and more, you know, while I'm at work. You know, I'm working on fucking looking at parts, and I'm thinking, like, you know, like, why are mushrooms so fucking incredible with, you know, brain structure and, you know, influencing, like, the regrowth of certain parts of your brain? Or why, like, how is this real? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They keep me up at night. They keep me focused, well, distracted throughout the day. They keep me distracted from my distractions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like I could go on about this shit for fucking years, man. Like, about all these different theories that I hear, that I look up, that keep me up at night. But, like, there's been a few girlfriends that I've, like, I just, like, we go on a car ride and something comes up about, like, an alien. And then I go fucking off.
Yeah,
I go down a fucking rabbit hole, dude. Like just like tonight, dude. I'm pretty sure, like, we've been talking about this shit for like an hour now. And it will never end unless I just say, all right, hold on, I need to put a stop.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Speaking of stopping.
Oh.
We've been going probably for like another 2.5 hours or 3 hours or something like that, dude.
Yeah, it's midnight. We started recording at like 9, right?
Yeah, we've been going for like 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, we have to cut some shit, but.
Yeah, still. Only a couple minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to end it?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to watch us talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. Episode 4 of the Macc podcast. If you made it this far, leave a comment down below saying we're fucking crazy.
No, leave a comment down below that says cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak.
Just cheesesteak with
Just cheesesteak.
with no context whatsoever. So anybody else that watches it is like,
They're like, what the fuck is
a
cheesesteak? Yeah. If you made it this far, comment cheesesteak. We'll see you next week with another episode of
With
some
guests, may
with,
I add.
with guests.
Yes.
All right. With
Next
some
week
more
is when
guests.
Colin comes on.
Awesome. Sounds good to me, man.
All right, word
Cool.
up.
All right, and we're out of here.
Later.
Hey y'all.